Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to the campus of Payson Seymour High School here on the west end of Pike County, Illinois. It is the Class 1A Boys Basketball Regional Championship game between the host school, the Payson Seymour Indians, and the visitors tonight will be the Triopia Trojans. Two basketball teams that had to pull off a couple of upsets to get here tonight, but both teams hungry to bring home some regional hardware to their schools here in postseason play. You're watching the Great Rivers Bank pregame show. When we step away for 2 minutes, we'll come back and get you set for this one. It's the regional championship between the Indians and the Trojans. We're back in 2 minutes here on Central Illinois Sports.
Wish you had extra cash for a vacation, a boat, a new car, projects around the house? Free up more cash for the things you want by taking advantage of low interest rates. Refinance your home with Great Rivers Bank and keep more of your money by lowering your monthly payment. Start the process online at greatriversbank.bank and work with one of our experienced loan officers to get the lowest rate possible. Great Rivers Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Did you know that Prairie Land FS doesn't just sell seed? They treat it and box it right here at one of their local facilities, then deliver it to your farm or fields. Growers trust Prairie Land FS to deliver top-performing crop protection products that promise the best performance before, during, and after the growing season. Prairie Land FS, your leading supplier of choice.
Hey, West Central Illinois, are you looking for a great deal on a vehicle? Well, at Westtown Ford, we have a lot full of vehicles. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. We've got them all, and a lot of them at Westtown Ford in Jacksonville.
Since 1921, Farmers State Bank of Camp Point has been a vital part of our community's history. We are proud of our growth, our community leadership, and our success, which is only possible because of all those who shared this journey with us. We are grateful to the generations of loyal customers, families, businesses, employees, officers, and directors who have shaped not only our story, but our entire communities. Thank you. We look forward to serving you and your future generations for the next 100 years. Farmers State Bank and Camp Point. Together, we are a strong, united community.
Welcome you back here on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show. Great Rivers Bank with locations in Pittsfield, Barry, Liberty, and Hannibal. Great Rivers Bank is here to help you with your lending and personal banking needs. Friendly service and dedicated loan officers help you through buying a home, opening a business, or making a deposit. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. It is the 7-13 Triopia Trojans, 17-13, taking on the 16-15 Payson Seymour Indians. My name is Brian Shoemaker. Damon Emmerich sitting alongside me tonight for regional championship action. Damon, two teams that maybe, as the way the season played out, we did not expect to be seeing each other in a championship game of postseason tonight. But both teams put on impressive performances in Wednesday's semifinals, and now they see themselves in an opportunity of a lifetime to bring home a regional plaque.
That's the beauty of postseason play. All it takes is one night. We saw Payson Seymour come out here on Wednesday night. New Berlin punched them in the mouth early, but the Indians responded, went into the half only down 4, and Brian, you and I talked about it that night. If they could come out and really, that first 4 minutes of the game, come out and play well, it starts to build that belief for them, and a little bit of doubt would start to creep into New Berlin. And Payson just played really well, took the lead as far up to 7 points before having a tie game, and then, as we know, they hit the big shot there at the end of regulation and advanced here to the game tonight.
It's been the tale of 2 seasons for the Payson Seymour Indians. This is a team, Damon, that started 12-3 at the beginning of the year. They had a 10-game winning streak that culminated with the winning of the Mississippi Valley Invitational Tournament at Mendon, where they beat the host Mustangs by 1 point in a really exciting contest. They had a win against Calhoun to open up the Winchester Invitational Tournament after that. And then, Damon, things just got progressively more frustrating for the Indians. They had a 10-game losing streak in the second half of the year. They won only 2 of their last 14 games in the regular season. Average margin, though, that time was just 10 points, and that was skewed by a couple of losses to QND and others. But Tyler Dushinsky talked about it when we talked to him here yesterday, and he said it was a growing process for our kids.
There's a lot of fight in this team, and that was one of the things, one of the biggest messages from Coach Dushinsky was, you know, we prepared for this starting with the summer, talked about going down to Fort Smith, Arkansas, and some of the teams they played there. And they scheduled tough. They went to Lake Forest Academy. They're not afraid to go out and seek competition, and they thrive on that. But what it's done, it's allowed his seniors to get even stronger, but it's allowed his younger kids to build into that. And as he said the other day, midway through the season, I told him they're no longer freshmen, they're no longer sophomores, they're varsity players. And that's what we saw here on display Wednesday night.
Well, and something to think about, too, with this Payson Seymour squad. If you look at the season last year, Damon, they finished 18-12, lost in the regional semifinals, a team that also started 11-4. The reality of it is for this Payson Seymour squad, based on the way the area competition is, the second half of their season is just very darn tough. They played a Southeastern team that had Danny Stevens on it. They played Quincy Notre Dame. They played West Central. They played all of these high-caliber teams here in the past 6 weeks, and you have to think that a little bit of that paid off when they were able to withstand the late surge from New Berlin and make the way to win the ballgame.
Well, I think what it says, it speaks volumes to the quality of kids that are in this program, because they did struggle in the second half of the season, but we never saw this Payson Seymour squad lay down and quit. They came out and played hard every night. You know you're always going to get their best shot, and they're going to play a full 32 or 36 or however long they have to go till that final buzzer, and that's what you've got with both these squads tonight. You've just got fighters on each team.
You talk about this Payson Seymour squad and some of the fighters on it. The big name you think about first is Brian Deeker, the talented all-around athlete, was a heck of a football player for the Unity Payson Mustangs football program. He has evolved into quite a great all-around basketball player, Damon. He can penetrate with the basketball. He's able to shoot from outside. He is scrappy. He is physical. And, of course, the biggest thing, as we saw the other night, he made the last pass out to Lane Barker. And that's the sign of a true leader on this team.
The sign of a true leader. It's a sign of a kid who cares more about team than self. And he knew that New Berlin was going to be capitalizing or closing in on him. He saw the pass outside. He knew, hey, if we don't make this shot, we go into overtime. But it is a true team effort. You know, Brian, you were Coach Jashinsky was gracious enough to give you 20 minutes of his time there yesterday to visit. And what really stuck out to me, and we'll talk about him here as well, but it's one of their key cogs on that team, not going to see in the stat sheet a whole lot, one of their team captains in Richie Martin. And what really stood out to me is Coach Jashinsky talking about, you know, at one point this season, his calf was black and blue because he had such a bad calf strain, but he fought every day, whether it be practice or a game, to be there. That's a kid that may not play another basketball game after his season is over, but team. And that's what he's about, those guys that are out there on the court with him at all times, and that's what you really look for. Those are the group of kids that tend to be the most successful come postseason time.
You talk about a kid named Wyatt Nyson on this squad, a team that, frankly, Tyler Dushinsky said, we go as he goes, which was a little bit of a surprise to me. But, of course, Wyatt has been kind of the quiet consummate on this team. Plays well, all-around good rebounder, nice defender. He is only 6'1" on the roster sheet, but he plays a little bit taller than that, Damon.
Oh, absolutely. He did a nice job. And when against New Berlin the other night, where Payson Seymour was most successful was give the ball to Deeker, so whether it be Brian Deeker or Wyatt Nyson, and let them attack the basket and create. And we saw both guys there 9 times out of 10 made the right decision, whether to shoot, whether to dish it off. And Wyatt Nyson is going to be very important here tonight because this Payson Seymour team is outsized, but they're going to have to control the boards.
You're going to expect to see some younger guys like Blake Schwartz and Lane Barker hear their name quite a lot tonight. If Tyler Dushinsky has to go into his bench a little bit, you'll see guys like Nolan Sparks, Brody Deeker, and Connor Howell step off the bench, all very capable to provide points and critical minutes for this team. You're watching the Great Rivers Bank pregame show as we get you ready for regional championship action between Payson Seymour and Triopia. When we come back in 2 minutes, we'll tell you all about the Trojans and get you ready for this one. We're so glad you're watching us live here on Central Illinois Sports.
Jersey's World! Jersey's World! Party time! Excellent!
Party on, James!
Party on, Todd!
Jersey's Bar and Grill in Camp Point, where you can find the best burgers, sandwiches, and steaks, all locally sourced from GJY Beef Company.
We love beer!
We love beer!
Ice cold draft beer. Enjoy one of our many craft selections on the patio. All at Jersey's Bar and Grill, 109 East Jefferson, Camp Point, Illinois.
Seed selection is one of the important decisions required to achieve yield goals. Logan Agri-Service represents top seed lines in the industry like Lewis Hybrids, Stein Seed, and AgriGold, and focuses on products developed to meet or exceed our customers' expectations. Sit down with one of our experienced local seed experts who will work with you to help select top-producing corn hybrids and soybean varieties tailored for your specific soils and fertility levels. Or visit us online at loganag.com. Logan Agri-Service, serving agriculture since 1962.
We take great pride at McCleary Brothers Seed Sales by investing in our local schools, businesses, and organizations both on and off the court. We also fulfill our customers' needs with high-performing Lewis hybrid seed products to ensure their success one field at a time. For all of your seed needs, please contact David or Darren McCleary at 217-242-3680. McCleary Brothers Seed Sales, your local Lewis hybrid seed dealer. Welcome you back here live on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show. Brian Shoemaker, Damon Emmerich getting you ready for the Class 1A Boys Basketball Regional Championship between Payson, Seymour, and Triopia. The Trojans, Damon, 17-13 on the season. They defeated North Green 59-30 in the quarterfinals, defeated Griggsville Perry in their third try this season, 56-53 in overtime in a very exciting contest. And you would say it's hard to top the exciting first semifinal we had, but that one was just as eagerly fun to watch. Fifth place at the Gene Bergschneider tournament at New Berlin, eliminated in the fifth place bracket at the Waverly Holiday tournament, and they were the consolation champions at the Winchester Invitational tournament after nearly upsetting Jacksonville Round in the opening round in the breakfast at Winchester game. Damon, this is a team that Rich Thompson said has tried to define itself and find its identity through the season. They've never had a big winning streak where things went really right. They've never had a big losing streak where things went wrong. And he said a lot of it's just trying to find some guys to replace some of the guys they've lost over the past couple of years.
Well, and in his interview that Coach Thompson had with you, Brian, he was talking about how they lost their two guards from last year, guys that had been in that role for a long time. And one of the things that he discussed was identity. They haven't really been able to find their identity this year. And I think we were starting to see that click coming out of the Winchester tournament. And then Ryan Snow had that ankle injury that went down with there at the Triopia tournament. But as we talked about Wednesday night, and as Coach Thompson talked about with you, that ankle injury to Ryan Snow, not that you ever want to see a kid get hurt, but it was kind of both a blessing and a curse for this Trojan squad.
Well, during that time, you saw guys like Aiden Nethery, the very talented 6'2 senior who knocked down the big shot to send it into overtime, step up along with Jake Mueller, a very talented ball handler and guard for this squad. You've also seen some guys like Trevin Littleton see some extended minutes, and he's even now in the starting role here for Triopia. And you also see a guy like KJ Beck, Damon, who might be a big X factor for this team tonight, the big 6'6 junior forward who they expect to see some big things out of.
Yeah, he did a nice job the other night when he was out on the floor against Griggsville Perry. Plays within control when he's out on the court. He's one of those kids who's not going to fill up the stat sheet most nights with points, but KJ Beck, any night he's out on the court, has the ability to go for 15 to 20 just because he does have soft touch from 12 to 15 foot and in, and he has the ability, with being 6'6", to get boards down low and create buckets for himself. But we go back to talking about, just like with Payson Seymour, this Triopia Trojan squad, team first is what these kids are all about.
Something to think about here tonight, Damon, is the word experience. Triopia was in a regional championship game last year. They had 27 wins in a season, lost to Jacksonville Route in the regional championship. Payson did not advance that far. There's a lot of guys that have played in this basketball game for Triopia. On the flip side for the Trojans, you've got a lot of young kids. You've got guys like Caleb Carpenter, the junior guard Austin Struby. You need to see these guys, and I think, Damon, one of the big keys tonight is which team's group of youngsters is going to step forward and maybe not say make the least mistakes, but really make the most advances for their team.
Absolutely, and I mean, if you're Coach Rich Thompson, the best thing that could happen for your squad, it's going to be hard to jump out to a 24-5 lead like they did against Griggsville Perry the other night, but they've got to come out and try to jump on this Payson Seymour squad early just because they want to try to take the crowd out of it a little bit. Triopia traveled very well here, but obviously this gym has a ton of Indians fans, as Payson Seymour gets the chance to play a regional championship game on their home court.
This place is packed. We're so glad you're joining us alongside. We're going to step away from 2 minutes to get the national anthem underway. When we come back, we'll bring you the starting lineups and get you ready for regional championship action here on Central Illinois Sports.
I'm not sure if there's a better checking account around.
We will pay the highest checking account interest rate that we have right now.
It is a very generous 4.07 APY.
As far as ID Secure goes,
it gives you protection with credit monitoring.
So the peace of mind of that's very nice.
Welcome you back to Central Illinois Sports. It's time for tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Farm and Home Supply. From snacks and hoodies to power tools and lawn chairs, no other place has it all like your local Farm and Home Supply. Let's bring you the starting lineups for the visiting team on the scoreboard here tonight. First up is going to be the Triopia Trojans. They start like this. At one guard, a 6'1 senior. Number 10 is Jake Mueller. At forward, a 6'2 senior. Number 11 is Aiden Nethery. At forward, the 6'2 senior, the talented number 12 is Ryan Snow. At a forward, a 6'1 senior, number 14 is Trevin Littleton. And rounding out the starting five for Rich Thompson's Trojans, the 6'6 junior forward, number 33, K.J. Beck. It is Mueller, Nethery, Snow, Littleton, and Beck for the Triopia Trojans. Starting lineup now here for Tyler Dushinsky's 16 and 15 Payson Seymour Indians looks like this. Their 5-guard lineup. A 6-foot senior, number 3, is Richie Martin. A 5'9 sophomore is number 4, Lane Barker. 6'2 junior is number 12, Wyatt Nyson. A 6'1 sophomore is number 23, Blake Schwartz. And that's going to round out the starting five here for Tyler Dushinsky's 16 and 15 Payson Seymour Indians. Damon, there is nothing like the starting five getting the crowd ready to go here for a regional championship game. This is going to be a whole lot of fun tonight, folks. We're so glad you're joining us here on Central Illinois Sports. Damon, it's go time, buddy.
It's go time, and know what? This is what these teams work for their entire season, is to get to this moment. You got to go out, have fun, play hard, and I'll tell you, we're grateful to be able to bring it here, and thankful for all of those that aren't in attendance that are watching us here on their TVs or on their cell phones.
Wyatt Nyson will step into the center circle against Aiden Nethery. Here we go. Tip-off is up in the air, goes down into the hands of K.J. Beck. Triopia will get first possession here to start things off tonight. Over to the right side now is Snow. It's a zone look from Payson Seymour to start things here tonight. Mueller stops on the right wing, kicks it back out to Nethery. Tipped away from Barker, recovered by the Trojans in the backcourt. Over to Snow now on the left side, trying to get into the big man. They get it to Beck, kicks it back out. Mueller, 3-ball in the corner off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound comes down to Richie Martin. He'll try and push quickly down to Barker. Nothing there, and they'll reset here as Wyatt Nyson drives in against Nethery. Might have had the pull-up and passed it back out to Deeker instead.
Triopia comes out in the man-to-man tonight. We saw the other night, they do like to switch from man to zone.
Nyson with the basketball, driving in on the left side, goes up and under with the right hand, no good. Rebound comes down to Ryan Snow as Nyson hits the deck on the try. Triopia pushing now. Nethery, top of the key, thought about it and didn't take it. Kicks it down to Littleton in the corner where he's double teamed as the Triopia Trojans work it around the perimeter. Nethery gets triple team, gets free, gets up with the right hand and good. Ethan Nethery puts the first 2 points on the board. It's a 2-0 lead for Triopia. 6:50 left to go here in the opening frame. With the basketball now is the Indians. This is the sophomore Blake Schwartz on the right side. He gets the pick underneath. Nothing there as they keep it back to Deeker. The senior guarded by Trevin Littleton. Free throw jumper, doesn't take that one. Kicks it back out to Schwartz now on the left side. Man-to-man look here for Triopia. Nyson now with the basketball, top of the key, kicks it over to Deeker. He drives in hard, up with the right hand, no good. Comes down to Nyson, back behind the back pass to Schwartz. It's no good on the 3-ball attempt. Rebound comes down to Jake Mueller. Triopia pushes now, gets it down to Snow quickly on the other end of the court. Nethery with it to Littleton on the left side. Beck trying to post up against Richie Martin, nothing there. They get it now into Nethery at the left elbow. Kick out, 3-ball to Snow is no good. Rebound comes now down to Wyatt Nyson, and he'll walk it up. 6 minutes left to go here in the opening frame. He gets some instructions from Tyler Dushinsky. Everybody feeling themselves out. That's usually what this first quarter is. Lane Barker with a 3-ball and knock it down for 3. Lane Barker gives the Indians a 3-2 lead here with 5:42 left to go. With the basketball is Nethery. Triple team. He's got to get out of the harm's way, and they say that'll be a foul instead against Payson Seymour.
It's going to be whistled against Lane Barker. That'll be Barker's first, team foul number 1. Triopia got lucky there on that one as Ryan Snow actually hadn't established fully across the time stripe. He got away with it and drew a foul against Lane Barker, so it'll be Trojans basketball in front of their own bench.
Snow with it, drives on the baseline, in and out of around the rim, no good. Rebound comes down into the hands of Barker. Here come the Indians. Nyson pushes the tempo into the corner, back to Barker as they work it around the perimeter. This is Richie Martin with it on the left side, tips it off to Deeker. Deeker takes a 3-ball in and out of the rim, no good. Rebound comes down to Mueller, his second of the evening. Littleton works it around. Now this is Snow with it on the left side. 5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. It is loud and rowdy here tonight at Payson Seymour. Nethery with the basketball, gives it to Snow. He drives in, collides with Richie Martin, and it's good. Snow gets the basketball in. And it's a 4-3 contest here with Triopia with the lead. With the basketball now is Nyson over to Deeker. Deeker 3-ball in the ring is good. Brian Deeker knocks it down for 3. It's a 6-4 lead. Couple of lead changes here in the early going. With the basketball now. Mueller with it. He's got to get rid of it. Gets tipped away. It's a steal for Deeker. Deeker runs in. Larceny. No layup that time as Nethery was able to challenge. He'll come down with the rebound. Trojans get away with one there. Mueller barks out instructions for his team as he crosses the time stripe. They work it over to the left side. This is Littleton guarded by Schwartz. Beck trying to establish position. Now they get it into the big 6'6 junior. He goes up with the right hand. In and out, no good. Rebound comes down to Nyson, his third already of the contest, and Payson Seymour will slow it up. Damon, maybe a little bit of a different look there. We know this Payson Seymour team likes to run.
Yeah, Payson Seymour wants to get out and get into transition, but now they've got the ball in the hands of Nyson, who's going to hand it off to Deeker. His shot up, going to be swatted away. Offensive rebound going to go off the hands of Deeker, so it'll be Trojans basketball.
Checking in for work Triopia is going to be Austin Struby, the 5'11 junior guard wearing number 3. He'll sit down Littleton. 3:35 left to go now as Payson Seymour shows full court pressure. With the basketball is Mueller working down the right side of the court, gets it now to Struby. Struby right, left wing to Snow. Snow's 3-ball is good. Ryan Snow knocks it down. He's already got points.
Fourth lead change of the ball game here for Triopia now with the 7-6 advantage.
Thank you very much, Damon. 3:10 left to go. Now I know what your hand signal is. I only know the Army signs. With it now on the left side is Barker, the young man who hit the big shot to put Payson Seymour over New Berlin on Wednesday. Onto the right side, this is Schwartz. Kick pass over now to Richie Martin. They're trying to work it around the perimeter and see if they can find Nyson at the elbow. They do. Short corner pass into Deeker. It's good. Deeker gets 2 more, and we trade the lead again. It's 8-7. Payson Seymour with 2:45 left to go here in the first quarter. Mueller with the basketball, trying to avoid the double trap. Gets it over now to the left side quickly. They get it to Nethery. Left elbow, back to Snow. Kicks it out. Mueller, 3-ball, right corner. Nothing there, and it goes down onto the floor. Schwartz able to pick it up for Payson Seymour. Nyson with the basketball, picks it up at the volleyball line. This is Barker. In and out of the rim, no good, and it comes down into the hands of Ryan Snow, his second of the night. And Triopia will slow things up themselves with 2:10 left to go in the first frame.
They're letting them play so far in this one. They're being consistent on both sides, and that's the type of game that Triopia can thrive in, but Payson Seymour's not afraid to get in there and mix it up as well.
With the basketball is Mueller at the volleyball line. Takes a few dribbles. He and Snow give a little give and go. Now this is over to Struby on the left side. Triopia heavy in the lane presence right now. 1:50 left to go. Trojans and Indians content to let this one be a slow little pace game as Snow's three ball is good. Ryan Snow knocks it down from 19-9. The Trojans take the lead. It's a 10-8 basketball game.
Ryan Snow making his presence felt early on in this one, just as he did Wednesday night. He's already got 8 of his team's 10 points as Payson Seymour almost throws it over, but gets the advantage of hitting the official.
That's just how it goes. You get a little break here, you may not get a break next time. Nyson with the basketball, gets it back to Deeker, back to Nyson. He's going to go in the lane, kicks it out. Nice ball movement by Payson Seymour. Three ball from Schwartz is no good. It's an offensive rebound for the Indians, but it's stolen away from Mueller. Mueller goes up, larceny, no layup on that time either, and there's going to be a foul on the rebound, and it appears to be against Payson Seymour.
Looks like they might get Deeker for the foul. They do. That'll be Deeker's first, team foul number 2 against Payson Seymour, as we'll see Nolan Sparks check into the lineup for the Indians, and Richie Martin will take a seat.
Snow was trying to get some instructions. Triopia thought it was a shooting foul. Snow was trying to get the instructions. Rich Thompson and the guys were hoping they could talk themselves into the free throw line. 1:04 left to go here, as they're going to have a little chat here at the scorer's table real quick. Struby will be the inbounds man when we get back to things. Basketball under Triopia's hoop, right in front of a rowdy Payson Seymour student section. Struby, three ball from the right corner. It doesn't find anything. Snow's going to chase it down. He gets caught up in the double team, and they might have called a timeout. No, they say it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow will favor Payson Seymour with 57 seconds left, Damon. Kind of a little wonky sequence there.
A little bit of ugly basketball right there, but it's going to be Indians basketball trailing by 2, 10-8, as we approach the 52nd mark of the first quarter.
With the basketball is Nyson at the volleyball line. 2-3 zone look here for Triopia. Schwartz with it, gets it down to Deeker. Nothing in the lane for Deekers. Tests it out to the sophomore Barker. His three no good. Rebound comes down to the big man, KJ Beck. 35 seconds left to go here in what has been a very fun first quarter. Struby with it on the left side. Kicks it back to Mueller back at the volleyball line. 27 seconds left to go. We run really fast for a minute, then we slow things down for a minute. We'll get into a good basketball flow here eventually. 15 seconds left to go as the Trojans will get into their offensive set to end the first quarter. Nethery back at the top of the key. This is Snow. Snow's three ball from long range, in and out, no good. 4 seconds left to go. Nyson with the basketball. He's going to toss it up, gives over to Sparks. Sparks is off the rim and no good. And we've reached the end of the first quarter. Triopia 10, Payson Seymour 8. We're back with second quarter play-by-play here in 60 seconds.
Rough day at work? We all have them from time to time. But the last thing you want to worry about is coming home to your internet being out. Or even worse, waiting all day to watch the big game, only to find out it's blacked out. With Cascom, those worries are a thing of the past. Our local technicians are here to service any issues and ensure you have a worry-free experience, whether it be internet, TV, or even home phone. Call Cascom today at 1-800-252-1799 to schedule or upgrade your internet and TV service.
Second quarter play-by-play coming your way. Damon Emmerich's got some shooting percentages from your first quarter.
After one quarter of play, Payson 3 of 13 from the field for 23%, just 2 of 8 from behind the three-point line. The Trojans are 4 of 12 from the field for 33%. And again, just as we saw on Wednesday night, Ryan Snow comes out hot early. He's got 8 of his team's points for the Trojans, who will have the basketball here to start the second quarter.
Working the basketball over to the right side. This is Strube. Tries to lob it in to Nethery. It's not going to get tipped away from Nyson. They say it'll go out of bounds and remain Triopia basketball, as Snow's going to come in now for the lovely locks of hair of Aiden Nethery.
The all-hair team.
The all-hair team. He is a first-teamer. Might be a first-teamer in some other rights team, and he's a talented basketball player. Snow with the basketball, kicks it now over to Mueller. Just getting going here in the second quarter, so glad you're watching alongside Brian Shoemaker, Damon Emmerich, Gavin Hilgenbrink running the camera for us here tonight on Central Illinois Sports. Steal away from Barker. Here come the Indians. It's Nyson with the basketball. Collides. Count the basket for Wyatt Nyson. He's going to go to the line for the old-fashioned and one play as we watch it here live on the Northwestern Mutual replay.
Austin Struby's going to be whistled for his first team foul of the ball game. It also gives us our first tie of the contest at 10 as Wyatt Nyson goes to the line looking to complete the and one. And we'll go ahead and add a buzzer. Nyson will go ahead and work through it, hit it. He's got 3 points. That's our 7th lead change of the ball game as Beck and Nethery back into the game for Triopia. On the other side, we see Richie Martin check back in for the Indians.
7:29 left to go here on the fantastic play by Wyatt Nyson. With the basketball now, trying to go into three-quarter traffic is the Trojans. They kick it back over to the left side. This is Snow with it. Takes it across the time stripe, gets met by Nolan Sparks, and they'll move it back to the right side of the court as Beck tries to buddy up against Nyson, and they say that'll be out of bounds. Turnover against the Trojans, their 4th of the contest. A little bit of defensive pressure there from the Indians, Damon.
Last thing you want to do against this Indian squad is get the ball on the sideline and allow them to trap. Payson Seymour took advantage of it right there, and the Trojans stepped on the sideline for a turnover.
With the basketball in the corner is Lane Barker. Kicks it back up now. This is Sparks as they work it around to the left side of the court to the junior, Wyatt Nyson. We had that wrong the other night, Damon. We kept calling him a senior.
He plays like a senior.
Plays like a senior, though. They get it into Martin inside. He goes up with it, gets blocked by Beck. It comes down to the hands of Deeker. He can't get it either. And now it is Carpenter, the young sophomore, able to wrestle it away for Triopia. Here come the Trojans, 6:40 left in this first half. Work it over to the right side to Carpenter. They quickly kicks it back to Mueller, and they'll work around this zone of Payson Seymour. Flashing high is Beck, nothing there. Free throw line, nothing there. Three-pointer from Ryan Snow is good.
Did you know that Prairieland FS doesn't just sell seed?
Sorry about that, folks. We had a wrong little tip there as we tried to cue up our replay. Didn't work quite right. With the basketball now is Barker. Barker answers a good three ball. We're trading points. It is 14-13. 6 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. With the basketball now, once again, is Triopia. Deeker is a handful up front, Damon, in that zone. He is athletic. He can jump. He's got long arms. Here comes another three ball from Snow, in and out, no good. Rebound comes down into the hands of the sophomore, Caleb Carpenter. He throws it away, though. It gets tipped away by Barker. We'll show you that real quick, that little transition play here on the Northwestern Mutual replay.
Struby will check back in for the Trojans. And taking a seat will be Caleb Carpenter. Coach Rich Thompson just wants Carpenter to get settled down a little bit, maybe rush. Almost had a turnover there, but Trojans have the basketball, looking to retake the lead. Had 9 lead changes already in this ball game, less than 11 minutes in.
It's been a fun one so far. With the basketball is Struby. Gets it now to Snow. He tosses it into the big man at the free throw line. Beck gets double teamed and has to get a release foul. He found that in Mueller. 5:23 left to go here. As quick as these two teams want to run, they are also very apt to slow things down right now. And they toss it high. Snow had to get acrobatic to get that one saved. Mueller with it. Payson is really extending Triopia, and now it's going to be a foul on Nyson on the block.
Wyatt Nyson will be whistled for his third team foul against Payson Seymour. Good crisp ball movement right there for the Trojans, and that's what you have to do to try to beat this zone. As Blake Schwartz will check in for Tyler Duszynski's squad. Nyson will take a quick breather. I bet we see him back in here real quick.
Very much so. With the basketball, they get it now to Beck in the short corner. He's double teamed. He kicks it back to Mueller as they work it around. Nethery thought about the three ball. He doesn't take it. Snow will take one, though, from the corner. No good. Comes down into the hands of Mueller. Mueller up with the rebound, and good. Jake Mueller with the offensive rebound and the putback. Make it a 15-14 basketball game with 4:43 left to go here in the second quarter. Deeker with the basketball for Payson. He's going to drive in. Nothing there. Kicks it way back out into the hands of Sparks. Zone looks from both teams kind of causing a little bit of fits here so far, Damon. And now they're going to say that is going to be a foul against...
Be whistled against Snow.
Be Snow.
So that'll be his first, team foul number 2. As you can tell that they're looking to get the ball to Barker early on in this one. Barker's going to take a seat as Nyson checks back in.
Nyson will be the trigger man. Three ball on the way from Deeker is no good. Rebound comes down into the hands of Struby, and it'll be a foul against Payson Seymour.
Foul's going to be whistled against Nolan Sparks. That's Sparks' first. Team foul number 4 against Payson Seymour. As the clock, Trucks LLC scoreboard shows us 4:25 left to play here in the first half. Triopia with the 15-14 lead and the basketball.
They get it to Nethery. He kicks it down short corner into Beck. Gets tipped away from Nyson. It'll be a steal, the 5th turnover of the game against Triopia. Payson will walk it back up here. Schwartz with the basketball at the volleyball line. Now to Nyson. He gets a double look there from Struby and Nethery. Deeger with it. Thought about a 3. Got to keep a close eye on number 10. Tries to drive baseline, gets checked by Nethery, tosses it on the baseline. It'll get tipped by the guys in blue and remain a Payson basketball with 3:51 to go.
Triopia likes to run this zone, but they've got so much length that it really makes passing lanes difficult, as we see Payson with their second turnover of the ball game right there, as pass was deflected and stolen away, and into the front court comes Jake Mueller.
Still a 1-point basketball game here as we get to the waning parts of the first half. Mueller with it on the right side. Now into Snow. Triopia trying to work it around this zone. Payson doing a great job defending up top, and that's going to be a turnover on Snow as he drags the foot, and it'll be a travel. Turnover number 6 against the Trojans. Richie Martin gets a couple of instructions from Austin Kramberg and the guys on the bench there for the Payson Seymour Indians. Schwartz will walk, Nyson will walk it across the time stripe. This is a packed house and then some, Damon. There are a bunch of people standing right behind us, and we're at the top of the concourse. Gets stripped away. Turnover for Payson is their 3rd of the contest, and here comes Mueller for the Trojans. Nethery with the basketball, top of the key. He takes a long 3 ball. In and out, no good. Comes down into the hands of KJ Beck. Offensive rebound now gets stripped away. It's a steal for Nyson. Turnover is number 7 of the game for Triopia. Deeker, 3 balls no good. Beck's going to get the rebound, his 3rd of the game for the big 6'6" junior forward. 2:40 left to go here in the second quarter. Student sections are in full force here tonight, Damon. It is a huge crowd. This is about as fun of a 1A regional championship environment as you could ask for. With the basketball is Struby. Kicks it in now to Snow. Tosses it down. Beck on the baseline. Misses the whole thing, and it comes down into the hands of Nyson. And we're going to have a timeout by Payson Seymour. We'll take it 2. It's Triopia 15, Payson Seymour 14. We are back in 30 seconds.
Once or twice a year, I might get the cold or a flu, and my wife calls it the man flu. So you know what that is.
Yeah. What do I love about our team? We have a good chemistry. We all work together.
I mean, come on. I've got the best job in the world. Sometimes they say, oh, I like to do handstands.
Yeah, I taught Brian how to do the handstand. That's all right.
And every day, I mean, it's a fun day.
Yeah, it definitely makes me proud to be here.
Payson takes the timeout, their first of the contest here. With 2:18 left to go, Damon, that is just our first timeout of the entire basketball game. We kind of saw that the other night as teams held on to their timeouts in the semifinals.
Yeah, and that was a good timeout right there by Tyler Dushinsky. Both squads getting just a little bit out of sync here. Had some turnovers. Payson Seymour with 3, Triopia with 7. This slows things down, lets them regain their composure. Payson Seymour will look to retake the lead as they trail 15-14, approaching the 2-minute mark of the first half.
Deeker with the basketball, gets it top of the key to Blake Schwartz. He'll take a few dribbles, now tries to get it into Richie Martin. It gets kicked off of a foot. And they say that'll be a backcourt violation as Martin was the last one to touch it. It'll be a turnover on Payson Seymour. Their fourth of the contest. Kind of an awkward play there. It's not a kicking violation, Damon, because it is not an intentional kick. So it allows the basketball to be in play, and since Triopia never really had a touch on it, Payson kicks it out of bounds. It'll be the turnover.
Lane Barker back in for the Indians as Nolan Sparks takes a seat.
With the basketball now is Snow. He gets double teamed quickly. They get it into Littleton at the block. Kicks it back out. This is Mueller. 3-ball on the way is good for Jake Mueller. Fantastic ball movement by the Trojans. Largest lead of the ball game. And hey, it's only a 4-point game, and that's been the largest lead so far, 18-14 with 1:36 left to go here in the second quarter. Martin floating around the free throw line. They get it over to Deeker on the right side. Back to Barker at the volleyball line. Nice and floating around inside. They tried to hit Martin. It went over his head. It's a turnover for Payson Seymour, and here come the Trojans. Nethery with the basketball. This is Mueller now as they get it back up to Struby. He gets rid of it. Back to Snow. He takes it a long three. Snow's in and out, no good. Rebound comes down into the hands of the senior, Brian Deeger, his third of the contest. Just over a minute left to play. We'll tell you all about it and more on the Little Chess Halftime Show. Schwartz with the basketball, nice and flashes the elbow and comes back to the volleyball line. Now they get it to Deeker. He gets bumped around. He'll get rid of it. Barker thought about the three on the right wing, passes it up, and now they work it back around. 43 seconds left to go as Nyson has it on the left wing. Behind the back, tries to penetrate in, nothing there as he was guarded by Struby and Littleton. 3-ball on the way for Blake Schwartz. Off the side of the iron, no good. Fight for the rebound. It's still a loose ball, and Austin Struby comes up with it with 30 seconds left to go. Here come the Trojans. Mueller, cross-court pass over to Struby. Snow flashes in the lane, nothing there. 15 seconds left to go here in what has been a very entertaining first half of basketball. 10 seconds left to go. Here come the Trojans. Littleton, top of the key, over to Snow. Now quickly down into Struby in the corner. 4 seconds. Somebody's got to get it up. They get it into Nethery. Nethery up and good. Aiden Nethery's going to get it as time expires. And that is going to bring us to the halftime here. As we'll tell you more about it on the Northwestern Mutual replay. As you see the Trojans bring it in. Top of the key pass. They get it now. Work it around the perimeter. Snow to Littleton. In to Nethery. Up and good. It is a 20-18 lead for Triopia. You've reached the Little Jess Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram halftime show. We're back in 2 minutes with some halftime stats and more after this.
Here at Little Jess, we value hard work, dedication, integrity, and leadership. We have a respect for heritage and tradition and believe in the pursuit of building legacies, breaking records, and putting forth award-winning results. That's why supporting schools and local teams is one of our favorite and most exciting parts of our business. For over 7 decades, we strive daily to use those same values as a foundation to meet our community's automotive needs and support our future generations. Little Jess Motors, serving our community since 1969.
Camp Point Central Sports are proud to have Dear Wester Grain as a sponsor of this broadcast. Dear Wester Grain, there for you for all your grain and feed needs. Why don't you give them a call and check out all the locations of Dear Wester Grain? With locations in Golden, Paloma, Mount Sterling, Clayton, La Prairie, Liberty, Industry, Carthage, and Blandonsville. For more information, call Dear Wester Grain Services 696-4461. That's 696-4461, or on the web at dearwestergrain.com. Welcome to Douglas Automotive and Tire, your expert truck and car repair center in Pittsfield, Illinois. We provide full service from oil changes to new tires and everything in between. Contact us today to schedule service. We're located at 303 West Jefferson Street in Pittsfield, Illinois. Call 217-922-0064. That's 217-922-0064. Britton and the gang know cars, and if you need repairs, call Douglas Automotive today for all your repairs. Damon Plumbing, serving all of Pike County and the surrounding area with quality residential and commercial plumbing services. Damon Plumbing offers septic installation, drain cleaning, new water lines, remodel work for your home, or if you're planning a new build, make sure you include the Damon boys. To get it right the first time, no job too big. Have you seen Braden and Doug? Or too small? Sorry, Corby, couldn't resist. Call Braden at 217-491-5415 or Doug at 217-617-2318. Damon Plumbing, recommended by our family for your family. Few things compare to Camp Point Central's fans' dedication to the Panthers. The same can be said about Channel and the farmers they serve. You see, unlike other seed companies, they don't have salesmen. With Channel, you get the advantage of a dedicated Channel seedsman, a trusted year-round advisor who can provide the right recommendations for your fields. It's their hands-on approach that truly sets them apart. Customized service, expert advice, elite seed management products. Find your Channel seedsman at channel.com or contact local district sales manager Matt Hughes at 217-242-8852.
We welcome you back here on the Little Jess Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram halftime show. Little Jess in Quincy, Illinois, the place to go for your next vehicle purchase. Their staff is committed to making the car buying process simple and making sure each customer's needs are satisfied. Learn more online at littlejessmotor.com or stop by and see the guys at 3431 Main Street in Quincy for Little Jess Jeep. It is a 20-14 lead here for the Triopia Trojans over the Payson Seymour Indians at halftime. Damon Emmerich, our ace statistician, has been keeping track of everything and has a look at some individual stats.
Well, after one quarter of play, Payson Seymour trailed 10-8. They trail here at the half as Triopia has the 20-14 advantage. Taking a look at stats from the first half of play, first off, for the visitors on the scoreboard, the Triopia Trojans, they had 7 turnovers in the first half of play. No foul trouble for them as they have just 2 players with a foul, Ryan Snow and Austin Struby. Both picked up 1 foul there in the first half. Payson Seymour, on the other hand, with 5 turnovers and no foul trouble for them either, as they had 4 players pick up a foul, with Lane Barker, Brian Deeker, Wyatt Nyson, and Nolan Sparks each picking up a foul.
It's a 6-point basketball game, and it's been a fun one so far. We want you to get something hot to eat, cold to drink, and get settled back in. We're going to take a 2-minute break. When we come back, individual scoring and more. You're watching it all live here on Central Illinois Sports.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
Hey, Dad. We're going for a run.
Well, just be careful. Make sure you're not running alone.
Another virus was blocked? Are you doing an online quiz?
This one's going to tell me my IQ.
All these quizzes are for us to get your passwords for everything. How do you not know that? How long have you been doing these quizzes for?
How old are you?
11?
11 years.
How do you not know how old I am? All right, well, we're going to go for a run and watch for cars and strangers, and you change all your passwords so your identity isn't wiped out.
A bit dramatic. Really like to know my IQ, though.
We take great pride at McCleary Brothers Seed Sales by investing in our local schools, businesses, and organizations, both on and off the court. We also fulfill our customers' needs with high-performing Lewis hybrid seed products to ensure their success one field at a time. For all of your seed needs, please contact David or Darren McCleary at 217-242-3680. McCleary Brothers Seed Sales, your local Lewis hybrid seed dealer.
The caring and experienced professionals at Hamilton Funeral Homes are here to support you through this difficult time. We offer a range of personalized services to suit your family's wishes and requirements. You can count on us to help you plan a personal, lasting tribute to your loved one, and we'll carefully guide you through the many decisions that must be made during this challenging time. You're welcome to call us at any time of the day, any day of the week. Visit our funeral home in person or on the web at hamiltonfuneralhome.com. Call 217-593-6517.
Welcome you back here on the Little Jess Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram halftime show. 20-14 lead for Triopia over Payson Seymour. Damon Emmerich's got a look at your individual scoring here in the first half.
Well, taking a look at the first half shooting percentages, first off for the Trojans of Triopia, they were 8 of 21 from the field for 38%, 4 of 8 from the 2, and 4 of 13 from behind the line. 3 players in the scoring column in the first half of play for Triopia. Aiden Nethery finished the first half with a bucket to give him 4 points at the half. 5 points for Jake Mueller, and leading the way in the first half of play for Triopia was Ryan Snow with 11 points. For the Payson Seymour Indians, shooting just 25% from the field in that first half of play, as they are 5 of 20 overall, 3 of 12 from behind the stripe, 2 of 8 from the free throw, or from the 2, and 1 of 1 from the charity stripe. Scoring for the Indians, 3 points for Wyatt Nyson, 5 for Brian Deeker, and Lane Barker knocked down a pair of threes in the first half of play for his 6 points for the Payson Seymour Indians, who trail here at the half versus Triopia Trojans by a score of 20-14.
Damon, you look at this ball game, it's not been maybe the most flowing basketball game that we expected to see. We've seen both of these teams want to run in transition. Then we've seen them slow down kind of unexpectedly. What do you think either one of these teams really needs to do to really kind of take command and play the style of basketball that they want to play maybe here in the first 4 minutes of the third quarter?
Well, I think what we've found that works best for Triopia has been that zone. The length is really giving Payson Seymour problems as they're having to pull that offense out further and further, and they're doing a nice job of getting into the passing lane. So if I'm Triopia, I'm going to keep with that 2-3 zone until Payson Seymour can hurt us a little bit. And for Payson Seymour, they did a nice job forcing Triopia into some turnovers. Triopia with 7 turnovers. We did talk a little bit there in the pregame show about not allowing second chance points, and that has hurt them a little bit, but I don't think there's anything that either coach can go into the locker room and be that upset about with their squad. Payson Seymour just hasn't knocked down shots like what they did the other night, shooting just 25% from the field. They're getting some good looks. So if you're Tyler Jushinsky, you've just got to come out and say, hey, we've got the first possession here of the third quarter. Let's get a bucket and go get a stop on the other end. 6 points can't become 10 or 12 in a game like this.
It's the Little Jess Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram halftime show. We'll take a 1-minute break to thank some of the wonderful sponsors who have brought us to you to broadcast tonight's regional championship game. When we come back, it's second half action between the Trojans and the Indians. You're watching it live on Central Illinois Sports.
Yeah, I'm at Farm and Home for Essentials.
Did you find everything you need?
No, apparently not. Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about.
No other place has it all like Farm and Home Supply.
Welcome you back to Central Illinois Sports broadcast of the 1A Boys Regional Championship Contest. It's Payson Seymour trailing Triopia 20-14 here as we start the third quarter. It looks to be starting fives for both sides. Damon Emmerich. Haven't been a lot of fouls called in this basketball game. Haven't been a lot of timeouts called. We may see a little bit more of a physical second half here as teams have some leeway to play with.
Yeah, when you don't have any foul trouble for either squad, you can come out and be a little bit more aggressive. And then if you have to, back it down a little bit. But we'll see Blake Schwartz cross the time stripe for Payson Seymour, as Brian tells you here about second half play-by-play.
Schwartz with the basketball, top of the key, tries to find Deeker on the free throw line. He is bodied up by Trevin Littleton. Nothing there right now for the guys from Payson Seymour. Schwartz takes a couple of seconds, collects his thoughts, takes a couple of dribbles. It almost gets it tipped away, and it does by Mueller. It'll go out of bounds and remain Payson Seymour basketball.
Going to have a little bit more movement on the offensive end there for Payson Seymour, as they had pretty stagnant there to start the first possession.
Basketball gets tipped away. That's 2 touches really quick for Mueller. They get it down into Nyson. He'll get fouled, though, quickly, and it's going to be another foul. Appears to be on Ryan Snow.
That'll be Snow's second. First team foul of the half against Triopia.
Nyson will be the trigger man underneath their own basket as we're just getting going here on the second half. So glad you're watching us alongside as Mueller's got 3 touches now, Damon. He has really stepped up here on this defensive presence for the guys in Carolina Blue.
Well, and Coach Rich Thompson talked about in his pregame interview yesterday how Jake Mueller didn't have the best first half of the season, but really stepped up after Christmas, and we're seeing it here tonight as Blake Schwartz is going to lose control of the basketball to be a turnover against Payson Seymour, and into the front court comes Ryan Snow.
Nethery with the basketball, has to get rid of it, and he finds Mueller back at the center court area. 1 minute gone here in the third quarter. Nethery gets double teamed, gets rid of it, back to Snow. He's already had a big long-range shot. They get it into Beck. He goes up, had the shot, passed it into Littleton. Littleton's going to get fouled as he goes to the free throw line. We show you again on the Northwestern Mutual replay.
Wyatt Nyson will be whistled for his second. That'll be the first team foul against Payson Seymour, and it will send Trevin Littlejohn to the line. It'll be the first free throw attempts of the night for Triopia. They shot it well from there on Wednesday night against Griggsville Perry, but Littlejohn can't get the first to go.
Trucks LLC for all of your diesel repair needs. Call Trucks, currently operating with mobile service units only at this time as they're getting the industrial park facility done in Pittsfield. 217-922-0044 and like Trucks on Facebook.
Littleton misses them both. Down with the rebound comes Brian Deeker, and then he's going to be fouled by Aiden Nethery. That'll be Nethery's second team foul against the Trojans. Nethery thought he had all ball. Official didn't see it that way, so it'll be Indians basketball. Crossing to the time trap is Deeker.
Deeker with the basketball, passes it up to Barker. Barker, three ball off the side of the iron is no good. And now here come the Trojans quickly in transition. They toss it all the way down to Nethery. He finds it now into Beck. Beck, the big man, goes up and good. KJ Beck knocks it down. Make it a 22-14 basketball game for the Triopia Trojans. With it now is Payson Seymour. They've got to find a way to answer here. Get it now into Deeker. He gets triple teamed, loses the basketball. Gets picked back up, though, by Schwartz. He almost loses it. Now he gets tipped around. Mueller has been a defensive bulldog here in the third quarter. And I think we're going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow is going to favor the Triopia Trojans as we have seen a heck of a start to the third quarter here from Jake Mueller defensively, Damon.
Yeah, the Trojans have come out and really asserted themselves as we'll see Austin Struby check in. Littleton's going to take a seat for Rich Thompson's squad as Triopia has a chance to make this a double-digit advantage as they've got the 22-14 lead approaching the 6-minute mark of the third quarter. And we're going to see an offensive foul called against Triopia. Struby's going to be whistled for the offensive foul, illegal screen. He's whistled for his second, team foul number 2. Check that, team foul number 3, and turnover number 8 of the ballgame.
With the basketball now, it's Payson Seymour. They get it now. This is Barker with it as they work it around on the side. They get it into Deeker, short corner. Nothing there as now Schwartz dribbles around with it. Really, really defensive stand here for Triopia to start the third quarter. Payson Seymour wanted a foul, didn't get it as Nyson drives in. He can't get the basket, and it comes down to the hands of KJ Beck. 5:40 left to go here in the third quarter. Mueller will slowly walk it across the time stripe to meet the zone defense from Payson Seymour. Beck floating around at the short corner. This is Nethery, gets it on the high-low. Snow drives around, goes up, jumper from about 10 feet, gets blocked, no good there, and it comes down into the hands of Blake Schwartz, and here comes Payson Seymour as Dushinsky wants to push it. Deeker, three ball, off the top of the rim, and that's going to hit the railing. It'll be out of bounds, and a Triopia basketball.
Good look right there for Brian Deeker, just couldn't get it to fall, didn't get the home court bounce there, so it'll be Trojans basketball. They have the 8-point advantage with 5:09 to play here. Third quarter action on the Trucks LLC scoreboard.
Mueller quickly pushing. He's going to go into the lane coast to coast off the rim. No good. Rebound comes down to Nyson, and he's going to get bumped by KJ Beck on the rebound try.
That'll be Beck's fourth team foul of the half against the Trojans as Wyatt Nyson skied high for his 5th board. Nolan Sparks will check into the ballgame for Payson Seymour as Richie Martin will take a seat. This is one of those possessions right here, Brian, where Payson Seymour needs a bucket to cut into this deficit.
It's been a tough go to start the third quarter. We're only about 3 minutes in. Sparks with the basketball, dribbles it back to the timeline where he'll meet Lane Barker. A couple of young underclassmen there in the backcourt for Payson. They toss it now to Schwartz. Tries to dribble around, gets it into Deeker. He's quickly got to get rid of it. Here comes Sparks. Dribbles around, tries to toss it out, and Nethery's going to get a hand on it. Thought it went off of Lane Barker, and instead the officials say that'll be a basketball for Payson Seymour with 4:42 left to go. Schwartz will be the inbounds man. Kicks it back now to Nyson at midcourt. He'll take a few dribbles with the left hand. Kicks it back to Sparks. They find Deeker at the free throw line. Dribbles in, gets bumped. Got to get rid of it. They have done a great job of shutting down Brian Deeker inside. He'll take a three instead and knock it down.
Did you know that Prairie Land...
down for 3. It's a 22-17 game, and Damon, that's what you just said. They really, really needed a basket, and the senior steps through.
Deeker's got 8 of his team's 17.
With the basketball now is Snow. Snow kicks it back over to Struby. Tries to get it into Beck. He kicks it out. 3 ball on the way from Mueller. He answers.
Did you know that Prairie Land FS doesn't just sell seed?
We are having a little bit of trouble there. We're trying to get our replay trigger. We apologize for that. Here comes Payson Seymour. It is a 25-17 basketball game.
Three-pointer from Nyson was off the back of the rim. No good. Deeker skies high for the offensive board.
With the basketball is Nyson. He drives in. He's going to get fouled.
They're going to say it's on the shot, I believe.
We'll show it to you here on the Northwestern Mutual replay. As Nyson grabs the basketball, tries to drive into the lane. He's going to go through 3 defenders and gets fouled on the shot.
Beck was whistled for his second. 15 foul against the Trojans here. So Wyatt Nyson back to the line. He's 1 for 1 from there in the ball game. The junior's free throw attempt is on its way, and it is good.
I want to remind you about the Central Illinois Sports All-Star Game. The best and brightest of our seniors in the area will come to Voschel Gymnasium on Saturday, March 18th. We invite you for the alumni game starting at 5 o'clock. The All-Star Game scheduled to begin sometime around 6:30. That's coming up at Voschel Gymnasium in Pittsfield on Saturday, March 18th.
Steve Reynolds checks into the ballgame for the first time for the Trojans. Reynolds is the 5'11 junior as Beck took a seat for Coach Rich Thompson's squad. Wyatt Nyson at the line makes them both. Nyson's got 5, and it's down to a 6-point lead for the Trojans.
Mueller will bring the basketball. A little full court pressure extended there from Sparks.
Payson's going to drop out of their zone and go into a man-to-man. Haven't seen much of this from the Indians in this one.
Littleton flashed through on the curl pick. Nothing was there as they work it around the left side to Nethery. Now they get it into the senior Trevin Littleton. He quickly kicks it back out. Mueller wants to reset the offense with 3:20 to go. Nethery gets the pick, avoids it from Littleton. He drives in with a hand up, a nice move from Aiden Nethery. He's going to knock it down for 2. It's a 27-19 ball game. Triopia with the lead. Nyson now quickly flies in. He gets it out to Lane Barker. A 3-ball from Barker is no good. Rebound comes down by Richie Martin, and now it's a quick move around for Payson Seymour as they'll get reset as Deeker had to tip it away to avoid it getting stolen. This is Nyson. Down into Martin, and it's going to be a out-of-bounds turnover on the Indians as we take a quick look at that last shot by Aiden Nethery on the other end for Triopia. And we're going to get a timeout from Rich Thompson. We'll take it 2. It's 2:57 left to go here in the third. 27-19 lead. We're back here in 30 seconds.
Timely application of crop nutrients based on soil test results and the individual yield goals is the focus of the agronomy team at Logan Agri-Service, Inc. Logan Ag delivers anhydrous ammonia, dry fertilizer, UAN, liquid starter, and our lineup of Logan Agri-Yield micronutrients direct from us to your field. Striving to get the right fertilizer products at the right place in the right field at the right time, that's Logan Agri-Service. For fertilizer and application services, call 1-800-LOGAN-AG or visit us online at loganag.com. Logan Agri-Service, serving agriculture since 1962.
Welcome you back here to live action from Payson Seymour. It is the Class 1A Boys Basketball Regional Championship as Triopia leads Payson Seymour 27-19. Brian Shoemaker, Damon Emmerich, Gavin Hilgenbrink bringing you the action tonight. Charlie Jack and the crew have the championship over at Central tonight as Camp Point is taking on Bushnell Prairie City. Camp Point Central, one of the top-rated teams here in the state of Illinois as well, trying to claim a regional. Bushnell Prairie City, Damon, trying to win their first regional since 1991 tonight. It's been a long time since they've celebrated up in Spartan Country. With the basketball for Payson Seymour now, for Triopia is Mueller. He'll try to dribble it around now. He gets challenged by Nyson. Gets it across the time stripe with 2:41 left to go here in the third. Down in the corner is Nethery. Gets it now into Snow. He gets tipped away, loses the basketball. Here comes Payson Seymour. Nyson with the basketball. Kicks it out. Deeker. Back up to Schwartz. 3-ball from the sophomore is good. Blake Schwartz knocks it down from 19-9. His first 3 of the contest. It's a 27-22 basketball game here with 2:20 left to go. Damon, we've talked about it before. Dushinsky has a lot of confidence in these sophomores to step up and make those shots.
And they've given them every reason to have that confidence as Schwartz and Barker have both hit some big threes these last few games. And right now, Payson Seymour's cut the deficit to 5. They did earlier, and Triopia responded. So we'll see if the Indians can get a stop as we hit the 1:55 mark here of the third quarter.
Basketball goes to Mueller on the right side. He drives in, goes up with the left hand, blocked by Nyson. What a block from Nyson. Here comes Deeker. Deeker goes up with a left hand on the layup is good. Brian Deeker helping lead the charge off to the block from Nyson. It's a 27-24 basketball game. 1:38 left to go here in the third. Snow dribbles through, gets stolen away. fight on the floor for it. Who's going to come up with it? It's got Schwartz has the basketball, and I think they're going to get the timeout as well. Payson Seymour will take the timeout. We're going to show you that last little transition here on the replay, on the Northwestern Mutual replay. Fight for the rebound came down. And it's going to be a basketball for Payson Seymour. As you can see, Tyler Dushinsky jumping up and down to get the timeout. Payson Seymour takes the timeout. We'll take it too. We're back here in 1 minute.
Pike County Lumber is the place to start all your building projects. They offer a huge selection of framing and specialized lumber, beautiful interior and exterior doors, and multiple roofing options that can be delivered to your rooftop. Start your indoor projects at Pike County Lumber too. New or renovated bathrooms are one of their specialties. Updating your flooring? Time for a new kitchen? Any project from start to finish. You can trust the knowledge and experience at Pike County Lumber.
Here at Mountain Dew, it's easy to tell who really loves the outdoors. For one thing, there's the rack on your car and the hitch on the back of your truck. There's your garage full of toys, from dirt bikes to wakeboards. And there's your cooler full of Mountain Dew, always at the ready. Because when it's time to get out there, climb into your deer stand or your fishing boat, a cooler of ice-cold Mountain Dew, that's as important a piece of outdoor gear as your spinning rod or your four-wheeler. Mountain Dew. Get out and do.
Back to live action after Payson Seymour takes the timeout on the hustle save from Blake Schwartz. He's got the basketball now with 1:23 left to go. Takes a few dribbles, finds Deeker at the free throw line. Deeker dribbles around. Barker has to save it after a really high pass from Deeker. This is Nyson back to Deeker. Free throw line. He's triple teamed. Here comes Schwartz. He's already knocked down 1-3 ball. Knocks it down again. Blake Schwartz knocks it down once more. It is a 27-27 basketball game here with 1:01 left to go.
Second tie of the ball game. We were knotted up at 10, now knotted up at 27, and that's an 8-0 run for this Indian squad.
With the basketball now is Beck, way out of his comfort zone at the top of the key. They get it to Mueller now. Takes a few dribbles, guarded by Richie. Martin gets checked, and they say that'll be a block on Martin.
That's a foul you can live with right there if you're Tyler Dushinsky. That's just Martin's first team foul, number 2 against the Indians.
Guys checking things out here as they check some things out on the jersey of Jake Mueller. They might have to get a substitution while they do. We'll take a look at that last shot from Blake Schwartz on the Northwestern Mutual replay. As they work it around, they're trying to figure out who's going to go in for Mueller.
Reynolds is going to check back in.
That helps cap off the 8-0 run here on the Northwestern Mutual replay as now we get back to live action. Triopia inbounds the basketball. Reynolds gets it in to Struby. With the basketball now is Nethery. 33 seconds left to go here in the third. It is a tie basketball game after Triopia had a nice little lead. And it's going to be a kick ball there as Richie Martin gets his foot on it that time as Reynolds was just trying to get rid of it. 23.6 seconds left to go. Snow will be the inbounds man as Mueller's going to check back in now, and they're going to take a look at that jersey.
He's switching numbers, so Littleton is going to go from number 14 to he's now number 32.
We'll try and keep that
going from number 10 to 32.
There we go. With the basketball, Struby down into Nethery. He loses it going up, and they say that's going to go out of bounds off of Nethery on the nice defensive stand from Richie Martin. 10th turnover of the basketball game against Triopia with 14.5 seconds left to go. They'll walk it across the time stripe here. Will to the senior, Brian Deeker. It's a tie basketball game. Possession to begin the fourth quarter, believe, is going to go to Payson.
Correct.
Nice one with the basketball. Dumps it off into Richie Martin. He gets blocked.
They're going to say Snow came in from out of bounds to regain possession.
We'll show you
so
that one.
1 second on the clock. Payson Seymour to inbound under their own bucket, and it'll be Nyson as the trigger man.
Nyson with a trigger, gets it up. Lane Barker, 3 ball, no good. And we have reached the end of 3 quarters. It's a tie basketball game. Payson 27, Triopia 27. Get ready for a fun fourth quarter. You're watching it all live here on Central Illinois Sports.
Rewards checking, I'm not sure if there's a better checking account around.
They have 3 requirements each month. And if they meet those requirements, we will pay them the highest checking account interest rate that we have right now. At this time, it is a very generous 4.07 APY.
As far as ID Secure goes,
it gives you protection with credit monitoring, cell phone protection.
Prevent identity theft at a reasonable cost.
It's watching out for you.
And every 90 days, you get an update on it. So the peace of mind of that's very nice.
Call Best Systems Builders for all your insulation needs. We are a full-service insulation contractor offering both open and closed cell spray foam, blown cellulose, and fiberglass installation. Best Systems has 2 BPI certified professionals ready to inspect your home or business today. You may qualify for incentives through the American Act on Energy program. Call Scott or Michael at 217-285-6005 for your free estimate or visit us online at gobestsystems.com and start saving money on your energy bill today.
Good.
Back to fourth quarter action here as Damon Emmerich's got some quick shooting percentages after 3 quarters.
Well, after 3 quarters of play, Payson Seymour shooting 9 of 31 from the field. Triopia is 11 of 28 from the field, and we're all knotted up at 27 to start this fourth quarter.
With the basketball now is Schwartz, and he's going to get fouled there by Mueller wearing number 32.
So that'll be Mueller's first. That is the 6th team foul of the ball game, though, or of the half against Trojans. So the Payson Seymour will shoot bonus the remaining 8 minutes of the ball game. Haven't seen a lot of free throws taken in this one, just 5 combined between the 2 teams.
With the basketball is Nyson, and they are very content to kind of a little bit of a standstill here. Snow really wanting to see him go. He's a little frustrated down on the baseline, says let's play some basketball. Triopia is going to maintain themselves here within the arc on the 2-3 zone, and Payson Seymour is going to see if they can make them dribble their way out of it, Dane.
And you know, this is good, but if I'm Payson Seymour, I want to attack. That's what got them into it there in the third quarter. So you don't want to get out of your momentum too much here. But as we approach the 7-minute mark, we see Tyler Dushinsky giving Brian Deeker some lessons on what he wants to do as Triopia has switched out of the zone and went to a man-to-man.
Here comes Deeker, drives in through the lane, picks it up. Barker, 3 ball, off the mark there to the right side. It's going to go off the hands of Nethery, though, and will be out of bounds and remain Payson Seymour basketball with 6:55 left to go in the ball game.
Tyler Dushinsky telling Lane Barker, keep shooting it. You're open. You've got the shot. Just keep chucking it, buddy.
We watched him make 2 big 3-pointers Wednesday night as they upset the #1 team in the state in the New Berlin Pretzels. Nyson with it, guarded heavily against by Nethery. Schwartz picks it up at the free throw line, They work it back around to Deeker on the right side. He's going to drive into the lane. Double team, kicks it up to Martin. Kicks it off to Nyson. He loses the basketball. Picked up by Mueller. Turnover by Payson Seymour.
Good idea right there. Just not the proper execution. Probably should have handed it off to Nyson. He couldn't control it. That was the 9th turnover against Payson Seymour.
6:23 left to go. We're going to see Sparks check in on the next dead ball for Payson Seymour. With the basketball is Struby. Guarded out now by Lane Barker. Almost loses it on his own accord and able to pick it back up. Now he gets it to Nethery on the left side. Nethery drives in. Nice play by the senior Aiden Nethery. 6 minutes left to go here. It is a 27-29 basketball game as Rich Thompson asking for something there.
They're going to call a bench warning against Rich Thompson. Say he's got to stay in the box.
Well,
I think he was just stepping up to try to draw the charge.
Yeah, it was just, he likes to get involved in the basketball game. Now they're going to try and get Sparks in here, checked in for Payson Seymour. He should have been able to get in as we take a quick look on the Northwestern Mutual replay on the last basket here from Aiden Nethery as they got it over to the left side. Nethery didn't take the pick from Beck, drives in a strong finish for Aiden Nethery on the Northwestern Mutual replay.
Nethery's got 8. That was not a lead change, though, as Triopia had the previous lead before it was tied up. So it's back to a 2-point lead for the Trojans. Payson Seymour's got the basketball, and Triopia starts back out in this 2-3 zone defense again.
And we'll see if the Trojans are going to be willing to come out this time as Deeker flashed at the free throw line, nothing there. 5:40 left to go as they work it over to Schwartz on the left side. Now they get it into Deeker. He drives in against Beck, goes up, off balance shot, no good. Rebound comes down into the hands of the big 6'6" forward. 5:26 left to go in this one. Trojans up by 2. They were up by as many as 10, I believe, in the first half, Damon. And now we're going to get a foul on Deeker on the push.
Deeker's second, third team foul. I have the lead for as many as 8.
That'll work
for Triopia.
That's why you've got the stat sheet and I don't.
Had the opportunity to get it to 10 several times. 8's the largest lead of the ball game for either team. Payson Seymour's largest lead is just 2. Triopia's got the 2-point lead and the basketball in the hands of Ryan Snow.
To Mueller over on the right side. Gets it up Nethery, top of the key. Trying to find Beck, but he's guarded by Deeker as Nethery flashes in one more time. He's having a heck of a second half. 31-27 lead for Triopia as Nethery is starting to step up here late in the contest. 3 ball from Barker is no good. Comes down into the hands of Mueller for the rebound. 4-point lead for Triopia with 4:57 left. Struby, 3 ball right wing, off the iron, no good. Rebound comes down to Nolan Sparks. Maybe a little bit too rushed of a shot there, Damon, for the Trojans. With the basketball is Deeker. Over to Schwartz now. He'll fire one up left wing. Is good. Blake Schwartz with a 3. That's the big answer the Indians need. It is a 31-30 basketball game on the 3-pointer from Blake Schwartz.
He's got 9.
Basketball almost lost in the backcourt. Snow's got to get it across the timeline or he's going to get a 10 count. He quickly pushes it over to Nethery. Mueller drives into the lane. Kick out. Works it around the perimeter. Here's Nethery. Between the dribble legs. Between the legs dribble, gets blocked. He wanted a foul, didn't get it, and Nyson's going to come down with the play.
That's Nyson's 7th board of the ball game.
Payson Seymour back on the offensive end here with 3:53 left to go. Nyson with the basketball. Snow keeping a check on him. Deeker floating around the elbows. Sparks over to Barker. Long 3 ball from Schwartz. Knocked it down from Adams County. Payson Seymour takes the lead 33-31. The 11th lead change of the basketball game. Defensive pressure steps up. And you're going to get a timeout here from Rich Thompson. We show you the last basket here from Blake Schwartz on the Northwestern Mutual replay. It's a 60-second timeout as Schwartz knocks it down from long range and Payson Seymour takes the lead. You're watching it all live here on Central Illinois Sports.
When I'm driving in my car with my family, I've got 2 kids and a wife, and 4 of us are driving a car, we literally get excited when we see a dot truck. It's actually a sense of pride.
Why I would encourage anyone to work at Dot. We take care of each other.
The company continues to grow and expand.
That to me is what brings me to work every day and that I enjoy.
Diversity, culture, family, all of those things. If you want them, you should be at Dot.
Back to live action here as Triopia took the timeout. They now trail 33-31, Damon, after having a little bit of a sizable lead here in the third quarter. We've seen the defensive intensity from Payson Seymour step up here in the last 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, they've really picked up the defensive intensity. They've come out and picked them up full court, and they've gone out of that traditional zone that we see them run quite a bit and gone to the man-to-man. Now, what Triopia has been most effective with on that has been having the ball in Aiden Nethery's hands. As we've seen him drive from the left wing, we've also seen him drive from the top of the key. And I think Coach Rich Thompson might look to keep doing that, keep feeding the hot hand until it doesn't work anymore.
Mueller will walk the basketball across the time stripe. 3:20 left to go here in regulation. Takes a few dribbles as he's guarded by Sparks. You can see a definite pep in the step here defensively from Payson Seymour.
Brian Deeker is now on Nethery instead of, we'd seen Nyson guarding him earlier, but Nyson is now guarding KJ Beck as Richie Martin is on the bench for the Indians.
Well, I think you've got to kind of maybe keep Deeker out of foul trouble. You start benching and bumping around with KJ Beck inside, and you're likely to get one of those fouls called. With the basketball, Snow, he takes a 3-pointer, long range off the back of the iron, no good, comes down into the hands of the big senior, Brian Deeker, his 7th of the basketball game. 2:40 left to go here. What a ball game we've had tonight for you at Payson Seymour. Tell a friend to get logged on right now for the final 2.5 minutes. Here comes Nyson. He almost loses it, dribbles it away, and gets it back to Lane Barker. With the basketball, this is Sparks. Back up to Deeker. 2:20 left to go. This has been a loud, rowdy, involved crowd all night long. What an atmosphere.
Triopia has 6 team fouls, so they're in the bonus the rest of the way. Payson just 3 team fouls.
Nyson with the layup on the nice dandy pass. Nyson gets it. Largest lead of the basketball game here for Payson Seymour is 4. It's 35-31 with 2 minutes left to go here in the contest. Mueller with the basketball. Over now to Struby on the right wing as now Beck flashes at the elbows. Nothing there, and they'll work it around to the right side. Now they get it to the big fella. Goes up against Nyson, loses it, and they say it's going to be a foul on Nyson. That's going to be a foul against Payson Seymour.
That'll be Nyson's third, fourth team foul against Payson Seymour, but it sends KJ back to the line where they're going to have to make him earn these points from the charity stripe. It'll be Beck's first free throw attempts of the ball game at the 1:47 mark of the fourth quarter. First free throw attempt from the junior is up and down and out, no good.
LSSD Trucking and 3D Leasing, 217-285-2808. Trucking for all of your needs. See the Dunham boys and their professional team at LSSD Trucking and 3D Leasing.
We saw Richie Martin check in as Sparks took a seat. KJ Beck at the line. He's got one free throw attempt remaining. It is on its way. It's off the back of the rim. No good. Brian Beaker with his 8th rebound of the ballgame.
Here come the Indians quickly pushing now. 1:40 left to go to a regional title for somebody. Deeger picks for Nyson. They kick it over to the left side now to Schwartz. Tyler Dushinsky talking to the officials about something. Schwartz gets double teamed and he's going to get fouled there. I'll show you that one again as now Schwartz is going to go to the free throw line here on the Northwestern Mutual replay.
They're going to whistle it against Ryan Snow. That'll be Snow's third, 7th team foul. So Blake Schwartz to the line. We've seen him knock down 4 threes in the ball game. Now he's got to do it from the free throw line where nobody's guarding him. As we see Struby back in for the Trojans. Trevin Littleton takes a seat. Blake Schwartz, the sophomore, shot his team back into this one. They've got the 35-31 lead, 1:28 to play in the ball game. His free throw is off the back of the iron, no good. Struby comes down with the board for Triopia.
1:24 to go in this one. Somebody's going to Calhoun for the sectionals next week. Nethery with the basketball, drives in up with the right hand, no good. Beck tries to grab it, he can't get a hold of it, and the sophomore, Blake Schwartz, is going to come down with it. 1:10 left to go. Schwartz drives in almost all the way, and it gets tipped away from Snow. Schwartz almost had a layup try there as nobody really wanted to try and stop the ball.
KJ Beck did step in front of him, and when you see a 6'6" guy in front of you, you're going to have a sub check back in here for both teams as Sparks is going to take a seat. Martin's going to go to the bench for Payson Seymour. KJ Beck to the bench for Triopia as Littleton checks back in. Deeker's going to be the trigger man for the Indians with 66 seconds to play. Payson Seymour gets it inbounds to Nyson.
Deeger picks it back up now at the volleyball line. Payson's got to come out, or excuse me, Triopia's got to come out and defend here. Nyson with the basketball. Over to Schwartz now in the corner. He gets quickly closed in by Snow. Snow almost picks it off. Nyson able to pick it back up. Everybody's out of control now, and they've got to get it settled down here with 45 seconds left to go, and there's going to be a timeout on the opposite side of the court. Payson Seymour will take it. We will take it, too. It's a 30-second timeout. We're right back here on Central Illinois Sports.
Hey, West Central Illinois, are you looking for a great deal on a vehicle? Well, at Westtown Ford, we have a lot full of vehicles. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. We've got them all, and a lot of them at Westtown Ford in Jacksonville.
Damon Emmerich, we've come out of the timeout here with 44 seconds left. Set the scene for everybody.
Well, we're at 44.8 seconds to play. Payson Seymour took the timeout, and they'll have the ball to inbounds at the half-court stripe with the 4-point lead. Triopia has 17 fouls, so if they foul Payson, it'll be the one-and bonus. Payson Seymour only 4 fouls. So, Brian, what I think we might see is, especially if the ball is underneath Payson's own basket and Triopia has the bucket, Payson might look to use 1 or 2 fouls just to make Triopia kill the clock and reset that press here in this one.
7 seed versus the 9 seed in the subsectional. It's been 2 big upsets to get him here, and somebody's going to take home a regional plaque.
Nyson will be the trigger man for the Indians. He's being guarded by Nethery.
Throw goes into the backcourt here to Deeker. Now they get it to Nyson. He'll drive around off the big pick from Deeker, and they say he's going to get fouled on the offensive shot. We'll take a look at it again on the Northwestern Mutual replay.
be the 10th turnover against Payson Seymour. It's Deeker's fifth team foul. Martin back in. Sparks to the bench for Payson Seymour. Carpenter in for the Trojans, as the ball's going to be in the hands of Jake Mueller with 35 to play.
Now over to Snow. They get it down into Nethery. 32 seconds left to go. He's triple team. Kicks it back out. Now Carpenter's going to walk with it. It's going to be a travel against Triopia. 29 seconds left to go. Payson Seymour avoids giving up any points as Littleton comes back in. Sparks will check back in for Payson Seymour. 29 seconds left to go. It's a 35-31 basketball game.
2 timeouts apiece for each team.
With the basketball is Barker. He's going to get fouled way back in the backcourt, and that looks to go against Mueller.
Mueller's going to be whistled for his 8th team foul. So to the other line for Payson Seymour goes Barker. Lane Barker, the hero of Wednesday night's game for Payson Seymour, is a sophomore. He's a 5'8 sophomore. Check that, 5'9 sophomore. He'll go to the line to shoot the 1 and bonus for Payson Seymour, who's got the 35-31 lead, 28.2 seconds to play. Still the 1 and bonus here for the lefty. Takes a couple dribbles, sets the stone, goes up, shot is no good. Back with the board for Triopia.
Nethery's going to bring it down. Triopia's got to move. 23 seconds. Payson fans wanted to travel, didn't get it. They get it back to Beckett's turnover. Here's a steal by Deeker, and it's going to be a foul in the backcourt against Ryan Snow.
It's going to be Snow's 4th, 9th team foul against Triopia. 12th turnover against the Trojans. Back-to-back possessions with turnovers by this Triopia squad. So it's going to send Brian Deeker to the line for free throws, but not until Coach Tyler Dushinsky takes a timeout. We'll go ahead and keep it right here for a 30-second timeout, but it's 35-31. Payson Seymour has the lead. They are at the line to shoot free throws, and that will be Brian Deeker, the senior, who's going to be there coming out of this timeout. And again, Payson just with 5 team fouls, so they could afford to take one just to add a little bit, make them kill a little bit more time getting the ball into the front court. But still a 1-and-1 situation here. Payson Seymour has missed their last 2 free throw attempts on the 1-and-1s.
Well, Damon, the thing for Triopia, they've just really struggled to get a good shot here. We have seen Payson Seymour clamp down, unlike the likes of anything maybe we've seen so far this season, and they're doing it when they need it most. And now you've got the big senior, Brian Deeker, at the free throw line.
And they've come out of the defense we're accustomed to seeing them play with the zone and run the man-to-man. It's really changed things against this Triopia Trojan squad. Deeker at the line. Free throw attempt for him is good. He'll have 1 shot to go and a chance to make it a 6-point game. Still, no matter what, even if he makes this, it will be a 2-possession game with 17.3 seconds to play. Deeker's second attempt is off the back of the iron, no good. Back with the board.
Quickly pushing now is Triopia. Now you're going to get a block in the backcourt as Deeker got knocked down, and we'll take a quick look at that one here on the replay.
It's going to be Deeker's 4th, but team foul number 6, so it doesn't put Triopia to the line. So it ran 3 seconds off the clock, and Triopia's got to get the momentum going towards the bucket again.
Snow with the basketball. He gets it back. 12 seconds left to go. 3 ball on the way from Nethery is good. Aiden Nethery knocks it down. What a shot from the senior. Let's take a look at it on the Northwestern Mutual replay. A big, long 3 from Aiden Nethery. Closes the gap here. You see him knock it down from about 29-9 is probably what that one looked like. And we'll come back to the timeout here, Damon. 8.5 seconds left to go. We'll add the 3 points on the scoreboard. It's 36-34. What's Triopia do here?
Well, Triopia's got to go for the foul right away. Maybe try to get a quick steal, but at 8.4 seconds to play, if they don't get it right off the first inbounds pass, they've got to send Payson to the line. Now, Payson Seymour will be shooting 2. Payson Seymour does have a timeout left to go in this one, so if they can't get the ball inbounds, they can take advantage of that, and they may even have 2 timeouts. I think Triopia is down to their last timeout after the bucket right there. But Payson Seymour, the other thing that they have to their advantage is they do have the length of the baseline to run, as they'll be coming to an inbound play out of a timeout.
Been a few years since Payson Seymour won a regional under the likes of Brian Ray. Been a few years since Triopia tasted postseason success. The last time they did, Damon, they went and got 4th place in state. That was under the Mike Lewis era. Nyson will have the basketball and the baseline to run here with 8.5 seconds. It's a stack formation by the Indians to get it inbounds. Tosses it up to Deeker. Now over to Schwartz. 7 seconds, 6 seconds, and he'll get fouled by Littleton.
That'll be Littleton's first 10th team foul. So Blake Schwartz is going to go to the line for Payson Seymour. The sophomore is going to have 2 free throw attempts. Obviously, if he makes them both, that pretty much seals the ball game for Payson Seymour. They've got the 2-point lead, 36-34, 5.9 to go. Blake Schwartz' first free throw attempt is up, and it is good.
Martin will re-enter. Carpenter will re-enter. Littleton will sit down. Sparks will sit down. The most critical free throw right now for Blake Schwartz in his young career comes here with 5.9 seconds left in the basketball game.
We've seen him make a lot of big shots here in the second half. Made the first free throw. Doesn't get the second to go. Netherly with the rebound and timeout right away for this Triopia Trojan squad.
We'll take a quick one real quick. We're going to come back on Central Illinois Sports right here in 30 seconds.
When you're ready to make your dream kitchen and bathroom a reality, find inspiration at Pike County Lumber in Pittsfield. It starts with a 3D design so you can see every angle and every custom detail. Traditional style or the newest trends. We'll create a design to fit your lifestyle. Your custom kitchen and bathroom will have the features that you need. A large versatile island for work or entertaining. Quartz countertops. Quality onyx that offers dozens of colors. From start to finish, trust the knowledge and experience at Pike County Lumber.
37-34. Triopia is going to have the basketball on the length of the court to go here with 5.2 seconds left. Damon Emmerich, you think that maybe Payson might want to take a foul if they can?
I think you take a foul because they've still only got 16 fouls, so it would put Triopia to the one and bonus. The one guy who can't foul would be Brian Deeker, as he's got 4 fouls, and you don't want to lose the senior just in the event that it would go to overtime. Mueller to trigger it in.
Long pass, touchdown pass comes into Nethery. He's got to get it up, goes up with it, off the rim, no good. Throw out, kick up from Snow. It's good! Snow knocks it down. Ryan Snow knocks it down, and we are heading to overtime. It is 37-37. Let's take a look at it on the Northwestern Mutual replay, Damon Emmerich. Oh my goodness, Nethery leaned in. It was only a 2. He kicks it out. Snow goes up with it. He knocks it down. We are heading to overtime here at Payson Seymour. We're going to take a quick 30-second break. Get your seats ready, folks. Buckle up. It's going to be a fun one.
If your job situation is changing because of layoffs or restructuring, you may have to make several decisions. One important decision may be what to do with your retirement plan. Make sure your retirement stays on track. Derek Harris, your Edward Jones financial advisor, can help. Stop by the office at 1891 Main Street in Quincy, Illinois. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Damon Emmerich, we have seen a lot happen in this regional bracket at Payson Seymour. We have seen a game winner from Payson Seymour. We've seen a shot from Aiden Nethery to go to overtime for Triopia. And now we see a huge shot from Ryan Snow to send it to OT in the championship game. We're knotted up at 37.
Why wouldn't we have overtime tonight, Brian?
Why not? Let's add a timeout back to everybody, Damon. I think if we've got it correct, each team has maybe Triopia has 2. I think Payson Seymour has 3 remaining. We'll try and figure that out as we go. Deeker will win the inbounds here as Payson Seymour wins the tip.
Let's set the foul situation as well. Deeker with 4 for Payson Seymour. Snow with 4 for Triopia.
And now you're going to see Payson Seymour pull it back out here to start the 4-minute extra period.
Nyson tweaked his ankle on that jump ball right there. He's trying to stretch it out a little bit. I'm sure he doesn't feel it too much with the adrenaline pumping right now.
What a game we've had tonight. So glad you've been joining us alongside all evening on Central Illinois Sports. Brian Shoemaker, Damon Emmerich, your broadcast team here tonight in the overtime session. 3:20 left to go here in our first overtime as Nyson's going to try and drive in against Mueller. Spin move at the free throw line, goes in against 2 defenders. They say it'll go off of Nyson, and it'll be a turnover on Payson Seymour. Nyson had the opportunity he wanted, just couldn't get the basketball up, and it went off of his knees instead. Triopia gets their first crack in the overtime period. Picks it up at the volleyball line. He's got to get rid of it now as he's guarded by Schwartz. They wanted a 5-second call. They don't get it, but instead, Deeker's going to steal it, and they say that's going to be a foul on Mueller. We'll take a look at it on the Northwestern Mutual replay.
So Mueller will be whistled for his third. It's double bonus, so to the line goes Brian Deeker to shoot 2. He's 1 for 2 from there in the ball game. Payson Seymour 5 of 9 in the ball game, just 2 of 6 in that fourth quarter from the charity stripe as they missed several front end of the 1-and-1s.
Guys checking out some things here as we've got Mr. John Walter approaching the table to double check something. I think they're talking about Mueller's jersey again, maybe?
I think they're wanting to make sure that they switched his number, but normally you would have what we would used to call a blood uniform, but I know they took the uniform off one of the bench players, so not sure if that's what they were arguing, but Deeker at the line, shooting 2. His first free throw attempt is off the back of the iron. No good.
Real Net and Twine, located just north of Crittsfield, across from the airport. Local headquarters for concrete, lawn ornaments, statues, and more. 217-285-5013 for Real Net and Twine. Second free throw from Deeker. Goes in for good. 38-37 lead for the Indians.
Sparks back in for Payson Seymour. Deeker's going to take a seat. You normally don't see him come off the floor, but with those 4 fouls, Coach Tyler Dushinsky doesn't want to gamble and lose Deeker early, as Triopia will have the basketball for a possession here. Mueller with it, gets it to Nethery.
Nethery kicks it over to Snow. 2:48 left to go here in the first overtime. Back to Nethery at the elbow. Tried to look for Struby on the backdoor cut. Nothing was there. Now Snow flashes back to the volleyball line to move it to the right side. Nethery trying to direct the big man for the pick on the right side. Doesn't take it, though, as he gets a little too far separation. Mueller with it in the right side. Now gets a pick from Snow. Drives into the lane. Gets double teamed. He's got to get rid of it. Nethery thought about the 3 ball. Little push and shove there with Nyson. They got to get rid of it now as some Payson fans wanted a 3-second call. 2:15 left to go here in the first overtime. Payson leads by 1. Snow into Beck. Double team quickly. Back up, Nethery, 3 ball, top of the key, off the back of the iron, no good. Beck tried to get a hand on it. It's a fight for the rebound, and guess who? It's Blake Schwartz on the hustle play again as we take a look at it on the Northwestern Mutual replay. 3 ball, no good. Fight for the loose ball. It's the sophomore Blake Schwartz taking it. We are back in 30 seconds on Central Illinois Sports.
I'm not sure if there's a better checking account around.
We will pay the highest checking account interest rate that we have right now.
It is a very generous 4.07 APY.
As far as ID Secure goes,
it gives you protection with credit monitoring.
So the peace of mind of that's very nice.
Here at Little Jess, we value hard work, dedication, integrity, and leadership. We have a respect for heritage and tradition and believe in the pursuit of building legacies, breaking records, and putting forth award-winning results. That's why supporting schools and local teams is one of our favorite and most exciting parts of our business. For over 7 decades, we strive daily to use those same values as a foundation to meet our community's automotive needs and support our future generations. Little Jess Motors, serving our community since 1969.
Back to live action here as we'll update the timeout situation for you. Two timeouts left for Triopia, and now just 1 left for Payson, Damon.
Yeah, that was a good timeout right there for Tyler Dushinsky. You'll value possession over a timeout right there. So they have the 1-point lead and the basketball, 38-37. 2 minutes to play even here, and overtime number 1.
Never know what'll happen here tonight.
Check back in for Payson Seymour as well on the dead ball.
They get it to Schwartz at the Indian hit. Driving around now is Nyson. He gets it to the senior Brian Deeker. Junior drives left side, guarded by Nethery. Gets picked off there. 1:40 left to go here in the first overtime. Deeker with the basketball into Nyson. Nyson goes in. He passes it up. Lane Barker takes that off on the 3-2.
Nyson didn't have a good look under the basket, so good job to kick it out and reset the offense.
1:29 left to go. Nethery closed in on Nyson. Here comes Schwartz with it. Richie Martin, the lone man, hanging out in the far right corner. Lane Barker in the left corner as they weave up around here in the midcourt area. Nyson gets free. He goes in with the right hand. Up and good is Wyatt Nyson. Payson Seymour's got a 3-point lead in overtime. 40-37, 1:08 left to go here in our extra frame. Nethery with the basketball to Snow. 1 minute left to go in the first overtime. Nethery trying to find Snow on the inside. He's guarded by Deeger. Goes up, dishes it off. Lost and picked away as Littleton wasn't able to get a hand on it. It's a turnover on Triopia. And now Payson Seymour is going to get an opportunity here with 47 seconds left to maybe possibly put this one away. Nyson with the basketball, guarded by Nethery. 39 seconds left to go, and he's going to get fouled. As we'll take a last little quick look here on the Northwestern Mutual replay of that last basket by Wyatt Nyson before he heads to the free throw line.
Nethery's whistled for his second. Nyson will go to the line to shoot two. Nyson's 3 for 3 from there in the ball game. 38.4 seconds to play. Payson Seymour with the 40-37 lead and a chance to make it a two-possession game as the junior Wyatt Nyson is money on the first.
Damon Emmerich at Great Rivers Bank, the guy sitting right next to me, will help you out with your auto, residential, and commercial loan needs. Give him a call at 217-285-4404 for Great Rivers Bank.
Nyson's first free throw that he made there tied the largest lead of the ball game for Payson Seymour. Has a chance to make it a 5-point game, but he's unable to do so. Nethery with the board for Triopia.
35 seconds left to go here in the contest. Here comes Nethery pushing the tempo. Spin move in the lane. Up and good is Aiden Nethery. What a play from the big senior as we take a quick look on the Northwestern Mutual replay.
Richie Martin's whistled for his second. Nethery goes to the line, as Brian told you, looking to complete the and one. Triopia in this one is 0 for 4 from the free throw line, but if Nethery can make this, it'll make it a 1-point game. Just 6 seconds went off the clock on that trip down the court for Triopia, and their senior, the man who's helped get them here to this point, at the line for the and one. He's ready with it. Shot is on its way. It's off the back of the iron. No good. Rebound is going to be fought for, and Wyatt Nyson will walk to the other end to shoot two, as he did a nice job getting a body on Trevin Littleton right there, who's going to be whistled for his second. So back to the other end we go for another two for Wyatt Nyson. And Brian, free throws have been the story in this one, and it hasn't necessarily been the greatest for either team.
Precious seconds left here in this one with 31 seconds left. Wyatt Nyson trying to at least give his team a 3-point lead. He'll have 2 tries to try and extend it here. Triopia is at least, Damon, going to get an opportunity to maybe tie this one.
Nyson can't get the first to go.
Carpenter's going to check back in along with Sparks. The 2 sophomores come back in for both sides as Littleton will take a seat for Triopia.
So either way, it's going to remain a 1-possession game here as Wyatt Nyson missed the first. His team's got the 41-39 lead. Second one from Nyson is also no good. Snow tracks down the rebound.
What a fun game it's been. Triopia's got the basketball. They trail by 2. 25 seconds left to go. Carpenter with it, guarded by Lane Barker. Sophomore on sophomore. Now back to Nethery. And Rich Thompson will take a timeout with 17 seconds left. We'll take it too. We're back in 30 seconds. Stay around for the finish of this one here on Central Illinois Sports.
Wish you had extra cash for a vacation, a boat, a new car, projects around the house? Free up more cash for the things you want by taking advantage of low interest rates. Refinance your home with Great Rivers Bank and keep more of your money by lowering your monthly payment. Start the process online at greatriversbank.bank and work with one of our experienced loan officers to get the lowest rate possible. Great Rivers Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
41-39 basketball game here. Payson Seymour leads Triopia in overtime, Damon. It's been a fun one.
It's been a fun one here so far, and we're still not over yet. 17.5 seconds to play. Both teams with the one foul or one timeout apiece. Fouling situation, Triopia, if they were to foul, sends Payson to the line for the double bonus. Payson Seymour just 17 fouls here in the second half of play, so it would be a one-and bonus situation, sending the Trojans to the line. But right now it will be Ryan Snow to inbound for the Trojans, his team with the 2-point deficit, and he'll inbound in front of his own basket.
Beck and Deeker check back in on the timeout. Snow, the inbounds man, gets it to the big fella Beck. Now they have trouble getting rid of it, and now Richie Martin is closed in on Snow. He tried to get it to Beck. It's going to be a turnover as Deeger was able to tip it. It's going to be a foul on Snow as we'll take a quick look on the Northwestern Mutual replay.
It's going to be the 5th foul against Ryan Snow. And Brian, that's also where we talked about on that timeout right there. Brian Deeker had not been on the floor for Tyler Dushinsky's squad. He had those 4 fouls, but we said he's got to be on the court there at the end of the ball game, and it paid off right there as he comes up with the big steal on the inbounds play right there. It was the 15th Trojans turnover, and now Deeker to the line. He's got 2 shots here. His team with the 41-39 lead. The senior's first free throw attempt is on its way, and it's off the front of the rim. No good. So 1 free throw remaining here for Deeker, a chance to make it a 3-point game if he can get this one to go. His second attempt is good.
Kyler Dushinsky will take the timeout. It's a 42-39 ball game. 9 seconds left to go. We're going to take it real quick. We'll be back here in 30 seconds.
When you think of fall, what comes to mind besides pumpkins, honey, and football? How about fertilizer? Studies show more than 1/3 of your crop's yield is determined by fertilizer alone. Studies also show as much as 40% potassium and 30% phosphate gets tied up in stalks and residue, as well as high clay content. Nutrient Ag Solutions recommends Titan, which is an innovative fertilizer catalyst designed for use with dry fertilizer blends. Titan will keep nutrients from being tied up and increase fertilizer availability in your crop. Titan is a low-cost option to improve crop fertility. Contact your nutrient crop consultant today.
Payson Seymour takes the timeout after Brian Deeker knocks down the free throw. It's a 3-point basketball game, 42-39, 9.6 seconds left to go, Damon. If you're Payson Seymour, defensively, this is an opportunity to maybe put Triopia at the free throw line by a forced foul before they can get a shot up.
Yeah, and I think what you do there is you let them run a couple of seconds off the clock because Triopia's got the basketball, length of the floor to go. So maybe try to get it close to the half-court line, get it to the 5.5, 6-second mark if at all possible. But the big key here is, especially if we get to 4 seconds and they don't have a shot yet, you've got to foul and let them avoid getting a three-pointer off.
Struby, the inbounds man. Nethery's going to come pick it up with 9 seconds left to go. Quickly dribbling against Deeker. Left side, 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Picks it up at the volleyball lines. Got to get rid of it. 2 seconds, 1 second. Carpenter's got it. He throws it up a heave. No good. And Payson Seymour has shocked the region and become the champions of their own regional here tonight, defeating the Triopia Trojans 42-39. We're going to take a quick break on the Illini Community Hospital postgame show. When we come back, we'll give you final stats and final analysis from what has been a fantastic overtime finish tonight here at Payson Seymour. We are back in 1 minute.
From our trucks to their lunch trays, to your local hospital, to your favorite pub, and to your kitchen table. For more than 60 years, Dot Foods and Dot Transportation have been stocking the shelves of your hometown. Sure, we've grown a lot, but at our core, we're still small-town, family-run businesses that care about our communities and the people who keep us running. Join the Dot family today and be part of something bigger.
Illini Community Hospital is committed to providing high-quality specialty care close to home. We are pleased to welcome Dr. William Severino, urologist, and Dr. Mark Mount, ear, nose, and throat physician, to the consulting physician clinic team at the Castile Center. Specialty care is also provided for orthopedics, cardiology, podiatry, obstetrics, oncology, and more. Learn more by visiting IlliniHospital.org or call 217-285-2113, extension 3950 to schedule an appointment.
Payson Seymour congratulated by their fan base. They salute their fans in turn as they are the regional champions here tonight. A 42-39 victory over Triopia in overtime. Damon Emmerich has been doing a fantastic job keeping the stats for us tonight. He's got a final look at some percentages and individual stats.
Well, let's take a look at the Triopia Trojan squad, who fought hard in this one, just couldn't find a way to finish it off. Triopia led by as many as 8 points in the ballgame. Shooting for the Trojans, they were 16 of 40 from the field for 40%, had 5 free throw attempts, didn't make a one of them. Individual scoring for the Trojans, 2 points for KJ Beck, 8 for Jake Mueller, 14 points for Ryan Snow before he fouled out late in the contest. And the leading scorer in the ballgame for the Trojans was Aiden Nethery with 15 points. For the Payson Seymour Indians in this one, they finished with 12 turnovers in the ballgame, shooting for the Indians 5 of 14 from the 2, 8 of 24 from behind the three-point line. They were 13 of 38 from the field for 34%. Just 8 of 17 from the free throw line. They did pretty much everything they could to let the Trojans hang around. As in the fourth quarter and overtime, Brian, they were a total of 5 of 14 from the charity stripe were the Indians. Individual scoring in the ball game for Payson Seymour. Lane Barker finishes with 6 points, 10 for Wyatt Nyson to go along with 8 rebounds. And then Brian Deeker and Blake Schwartz led the way in the ball game for Payson Seymour, finishing with 13 points apiece.
Damon, I don't know if we can have enough time to catch our collective breath here. What a fantastic basketball game.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained tonight here on Central Illinois Sports? Two fantastic teams that had to pull big upsets to get here to begin with. Left it all out on the court here tonight. And Payson Seymour, the most unlikely of regional champions, maybe in our entire area, Damon, had a 10-game winning streak early in the year. They were 12-3 at one point. They lost 10 games straight. They only won 2 games in the final 14 games of the basketball season. Now they find themselves with an upset over the #1 team in the state and a regional championship under their belt, and they're going to advance to the Calhoun sectional next week. We're going to take a couple of minutes of break here. We're going to see if we can get Tyler Dushinsky and maybe a couple of the basketball players here to talk with us. You are watching an extended Illini Community Hospital postgame show here live on Central Illinois Sports.
Did you know that PCRE Real Estate and Auction now offers a full-service auction alternative? Farmland, residential real estate, commercial real estate, estates, guns, antiques, farm equipment, and commercial equipment are a few examples that the experienced auction team is ready to assist you with. Our team can make the auction experience less stressful and smooth. Check out our next auctions at our new auction location at 500 Piper Lane in Pittsfield, or call 217-430-2985 and speak with Jason Duke to learn more.
Trucks LLC will be located this fall in the new building at 14 East Industrial Park Drive in Pittsfield. Call 217-922-0044. Diesel repair service offering 24-hour roadside repair, mobile service units, semi-truck and trailers, farm and ag equipment, DOT inspections, hydraulic hose repair, anything diesel, we can come to you along the road in the field or at your shop. It's Trucks. Call 217-922-0044. That's 217-922-0044.
Hey, West Central Illinois, are you looking for a great deal on a vehicle? Well, at Westtown Ford, we have a lot full of vehicles. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. We've got them all, and a lot of them at Westtown Ford in Jacksonville.
Jersey's World! Jersey's World! Party time! Excellent!
Party on, James!
Party on, Todd!
Jersey's Bar and Grill in Camp Point, where you can find the best burgers, sandwiches, and steaks, all locally sourced from GJY Beef Company.
We love beer! We love beer!
Ice cold draft beer. Enjoy one of our many craft selections on the patio. All at Jersey's Bar and Grill, 109 East Jefferson, Camp Point, Illinois.
Are you short on time or budget, but your family is hungry? It's time for the Maya Authentic Mexican Restaurant in Pittsfield. Try the Maya Special, a crowd favorite. Delicious grilled fajitas, steaks, nachos Mexicano, salads in a tortilla bowl, the tastiest salsa and cheese sauce around, and the fastest service anywhere. You can afford it. It's the Maya Mexican Restaurant on Washington Street. Call ahead with your order and you can pick it up in the drive-thru, 217-285-4526. The Maya Restaurant in Pittsfield. Time to be thinking about tax planning. You can count on Illinois FBFM for accounting, consulting, and tax preparation for farmers and businesses in Pike, Brown, and Adams County. Phone 217-593-7233. That's 593-7233. Illinois FBFM can take care of your farm accounting needs. Get your accounts in order for this tax season. Contact Jesse Shootman, Emily Matthews, and Brad Wellman. Illinois FBFM in Camp Point, working for you.
Welcome you back here live on the Illini Community Hospital postgame show as Payson Seymour defeats Triopia 42-39 in overtime to win the Class 1A Payson Regional. They're going to advance to the Calhoun Sectional next week. Central Illinois Sports will be there. We will also be at the Bushnell Sectional next week. Both of those will feed into the Jacksonville Super Sectional. We will have that for you, although that will be exclusively on the NFHS Sports platform. It is a celebratory atmosphere here on the home court for the Indians. Quite a story that you couldn't have written any better for this team, as we're going to try and get Tyler Dushinsky and Brian Deeker and Richie Martin up here in just a few minutes to talk, so don't go anywhere, folks. We want to hear from some of these guys after their big win tonight as Payson Seymour advances to 17-15 on the season, Damon.
Who would have thought it coming in? You know, when they were 12-3 there early on in the season, you'd have said, yeah, they're a regional championship contender, and then they dropped so many games in a row, and just like that, you know, you don't know if they're gonna win a game in the regional, and all of a sudden this team comes in here and came in with no fear, knocked off the New Berlin Pretzels here on Wednesday night. Just a great game that they played, and then they came out here again tonight. Probably not considered the favorite against the Triopia squad. They had beaten this Triopia Trojan squad early on in the season. Triopia knocked off Griggsville Perry on Wednesday night. They came out. Triopia led by as many as 8 points, and it looked like the game may be starting to get out of control a little bit, and then all of a sudden, Payson Seymour knocks down a couple of big threes. Blake Schwartz hits a couple of threes there for Payson Seymour, really starts to shift the momentum. And Payson Seymour had it all the way down to a final shot in regulation on an offensive rebound tip out in which Ryan Snow hit a three as time expired. Sent this one into overtime, but Payson Seymour was able to outscore Triopia in overtime by a score of 5-2 to win 42-39 as Brian's getting the headset back on. We're going to talk here with Payson senior Brian Deeker. Brian with 13 points in this one, hit a couple of free throws there late to seal the ball game. And Brian, here we're going to turn it over to Brian Deeker and let him just kind of tell you about what this week has meant for him, this team, and this community.
There we go. Can you hear all right?
Yep.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations, Brian. A 42-39 win tonight. Brian, it has been a roller coaster of a year for your team. We watched you guys start out so well. We watched you have a fantastic performance at the MVIT championship at Minden. And after that, things just never seemed to go your way. You could never get the ball to bounce in your favor. A short loss to Lake Forest Academy, a devastating loss to Brown County, a tough loss at Pittsfield. What was the feeling like for you guys through the season before you came into regionals, and then you come out and surprise us and beat New Berlin?
Well, obviously we had a bunch of tough losses, but those are good learning experiences. We were a young team. We went through a rough patch, and luckily we're hitting full speed coming into regionals. We got 2 big wins, and hopefully we got a couple more to go.
What was the atmosphere like when you guys talked after the fourth quarter? Snow knocks down the 3 at the end in the buzzer to send it to overtime. It's one of those instances that maybe the momentum could have shifted, could have gotten away from you guys in the waning moments, kind of the same way when New Berlin rallied against you guys. There seems to be a determination with your team that can't be beaten right now, and it seems like maybe some of the things that you went through in the second half kind of built you there right now.
Yeah, we just got a no-quit attitude. They hit some tough shots. Snow's a real good player, and we knew we had them. We just had to knock down free throws. We're definitely going to work on free throws in practice next week, but we knew we had them, and those free throws that we need more of them. But yeah, that was just, I love my team, man. I love my team. They're great.
Your coach says that you're the ultimate team player. You're a leader. You're a team player. You play for your community. You play for your team first. It's never about you. What does it mean as a senior to deliver a regional championship back to the Payson Seymour Indians?
It's great. I got full trust in my team that they're going to make the right plays, hit big shots. Lane showed it last night. Blake hit some good free throws. Wyatt hit some free throws a little bit. I mean, I just love playing here. I love it all.
Well, Brian, we congratulate you, buddy. Thank you so much. We'll let you step away and continue to congratulate with some of your teammates and community members. We'll hand the headset over to Richie if that's all right.
All right, thanks, Brian.
now being joined here by the other senior for this Payson Seymour Indian squad, Richie Martin. And Richie, just tell us a little bit there about the emotions that your team went through. You thought you had it there at the end of regulation, had a offensive rebound that just gets tipped out, and Ryan Snow hits a three to send us into overtime. And what was it like there in the huddle coming in where you thought it was? I mean, you're basically at the highest of highs and lowest of lows there.
Our coach said they make a three or they make a layup. Either way, we win. Because they make a three, we go into overtime. They make a layup, we're still up by one, and then we get the ball. We can either go get free throws or just run the clock out.
Yes, so tell us a little bit, take us through what this week was. Obviously, you come in and, Wednesday night you've got a New Berlin Pretzel squad that, one poll had ranked as the number one team in Class 1A. You guys coming in, I mean, even on your home court, it's safe to say you were not the favored team.
Yeah.
You guys came out, just played with no fear. Tell us what this week of practice was like and how you guys came out ready for that game Wednesday.
We just went game speed every practice, nonstop, and we just made our shots, got our shots, didn't let defense didn't make it hard.
Yeah, and then obviously when you come off of a big win like that, and you've got to get ready for the regional championship squad. Emotions are running high, but how tough was it to get locked in for practice again yesterday, or were you guys ready to go?
We're ready to go off that win.
Yeah. Richie, you're a guy who you look in the box score the next day and you may not see any points for you, but you're a guy who, when you're out on the floor, we like to call you the glue guy. You're the first one that's going to get on the floor. You're going to get the big rebound. You're not afraid to knock the 6'4", 6'5" guy on the floor and show him that, hey, I might be smaller, but I'm going to be here, and you're going to know I'm here every night. So just what's your mentality going into a game? Because obviously as a senior, it can be hard to defer to your younger players on the team for them needing to score. But what do you think about going into each game?
Just play each game like it's my last game. Like it's the end of the season already.
And right now, as a senior, every game that you're playing could be your last game. But tell you what, you guys have done what you needed to do to see another night, and you're going to go to the Calhoun sectional next week. We'll be there to cover you. And just want to say, Richie, congratulations. Brian and I, as fans, enjoy watching you and the way that you carry yourself out on the court and just what you do for your teammates. And we're looking forward to seeing what you guys can do next week at Calhoun.
Thank you.
It's Richie Martin right there for the Payson Seymour Indians.
Thank you, Damon Emmerich. We get head coach Tyler Dushinsky on now. And, Coach, you're beaming from ear to ear, and I can't blame you. You just won a regional championship on your home floor, maybe in a situation where a lot of people might have doubted your team coming into this week.
That's for sure.
You come out, you surprise us Wednesday, you shock the state in Class 1A by upsetting New Berlin. You come out tonight here, had a few struggles, just as any team would in a regional championship basketball game. But we saw once again, as you said in our interview yesterday, you put 5 guys on the floor that can play basketball. You don't rely on the one guy, and you don't necessarily have to. You've got guys that are leaders, but you've seen it tonight. Everybody that stepped on this floor in a white jersey contributed in some way for you.
Right.
Let's talk about first the hustle play of Blake Schwartz. Several times we saw the young sophomore dive on the floor, saved you a timeout, saved you a jump ball. And maybe, Blake doesn't look like the most physical kid on the court, but he was definitely not afraid tonight to dive into those piles and get those loose balls for you.
Blake, he has that dog mentality. If he gets a little upset, he's willing to do just about anything to get the job done. So I think at halftime, we went in and talked a little bit. I said, guys, Wednesday night, we went in at halftime, close game, said, hey, we can play with these guys. Let's go out and play defense. And we came out and we were just all over the place. And defensively, obviously, that got us that game. Tonight at halftime, I went in and I said, guys, we don't want it. You guys are out here just halfway guarding and not talking. And I said, what's going on? And so, I didn't get on them. We didn't get on them. I think they just kind of got on themselves, knowing that they could do a lot better. And they came out and guarded. And you do have kids diving on the floor for loose balls like Blake did. You have, it was a no call, but Richie stands in and takes a charge underneath the basket. Those are the plays defensively that are going to end up making us successful. And so, We're more than capable of doing that. We just have to do it more on a consistent basis.
Talking about making the big defensive plays. Coming into that last timeout with a few seconds left, Damon looked at me and said, they got to get Deeker on the floor. You check Deeker in. He comes in, gets the tip up. They get the last steal, get fouled, go to the free throw line, and shut this thing off. And, you know, it's hard to find something to dislike about Brian Deeker. And you see the kid come in and make plays like that. You see the way he celebrates with his teammates in unselfish play. He really encapsulates everything that you say about being part of a community and being part of a program and seeing the upper level goal, which is everyone wins.
Right. You know, he obviously was in foul trouble with his 4 fouls, and we wanted to try and obviously have him on the floor, but we didn't want to put him in a situation where we lose him early on in overtime, or, you know, potentially go into the second overtime and not have him at all. So we tried to
I know you want to get down there. We can wrap it up here real quick and let you get down there.
So just overall, I just want to, you know, thank everybody. The Payson community has been great. You know, my family is welcomed here, and, you know, who would have thought after, you know, second year here, we're raising a trophy after graduating 6 seniors. So I'm just very blessed with a great group of kids and a great family and a great community.
Coach, we'll let you get the heads off here. We'll let you get down and celebrate and get in that team picture. Congratulations. We'll see you next week at Calhoun. Damon, it is time to name our Derek Harris, Edward Jones Financial Advisor Play of the Game. I don't even know where to start because we've seen so many guys come up here in the key critical moments tonight for Payson Seymour. You saw the hustle plays of Blake Schwartz. You saw the big defensive stands for Brian Deeker. You saw the great rebounding and some fantastic dribbling tonight by Wyatt Nyson. You saw Lane Barker continue to not give up even despite maybe a lackluster shooting performance tonight. It's really hard to name one player. I say we just give it to the whole Indian squad this evening.
Yeah, Brian, I think this is just a squad that the never say die, never quit attitude. It's been on display the entire season. It's been on display the last 2 games as they've trailed at the half of each game. They've probably not been considered the favorite in either of those, but they've been able to be the victor, winning the last 2 games that they've played by a combined total of 6 points, winning 41-38 on Wednesday night, 42-39 here in overtime against the Triopia Trojan squad. And as you said, can't pick just one guy right here. And these fans, rightfully so, are enjoying every minute of this, soaking it all up, getting the pictures with the team, with the cheerleaders, and this is something that these kids are going to remember the rest of their lives.
They're going to get a few more fans and locals in here into the final picture. We're going to wrap it up here tonight as Payson Seymour defeats Triopia 42-39. A congratulations to the Triopia Trojans and Coach Rich Thompson on what has been a really great season for them as well. Damon, we see some talented seniors and Ryan Snow and Aiden Nethery hang up their jerseys for the final time in Carolina blue. And that's a good basketball team, and they've still got more to come.
We'll see those two playing some all-star games here in the postseason. And, yeah, can't say enough about what they've put on display here. The 2 games that they played at Payson Seymour, and they gave their team everything that they had, coming up just short here in the opportunity to win a regional championship, falling by 3.
We're going to call tonight here. We thank you so very much. We are so very happy, very honored, and very humble that you've chosen to spend your Friday night with us, watching a fantastic high school basketball game here live on Central Illinois Sports. Payson Seymour advances to the Calhoun sectional next week. We'll tell you all about our broadcast schedule coming up on Twitter and Facebook here in the coming days. For Damon Emmerich, who has done a fantastic job beside me here this evening, for Gavin Hilgenbrink, G-Money, our fantastic videographer, my name is Brian Shoemaker. We're logging off from Payson Seymour. We will see you next week for sectional action at Calhoun and Bushnell. We'll hope you join us next on Central Illinois Sports.